Hey. We're almost on the way. MH will be joining me in the booth. We'll give them the thumbs up. They'll lag for the break. And we'll get this thing going. Yeah, it's a holiday weekend. We're a few minutes behind. Please share. Grab the link on YouTube. Share it on Facebook, public profile, groups, things like that. Always helps. We got a few chats I'll go through. We got Mike B. Happy and safe New Year to all. Pool and champagne all weekend. Well, I'm on the Sprecher's Orange Dream. Not so much of a champagne, but it's darn good. Rodney Coed says, Justyn for the win. Game don't matter. Well, they did pick 8-ball. It will be a race to 15. John Megger, what's up, Sharks? Let's get at it. We're definitely getting at it. I got MH's favorite drink here. We're going to have him go ahead and lag so we don't get too far behind. He'll be up in the booth here shortly. They're raring to go. We'll do a little bit of a replay on the leg. A little slow. Robbie's got it. Again, 8-ball, BCAPL rules, race to 15. Robbie's the current king of the hill. Probably 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember with the holiday weekend. It seems like I haven't been here for a month. We had last week off due to Christmas and, you know, all that good stuff. And this year, we're definitely going full steam. Sunday is a definite go. There will be King's Court on Sunday, I repeat. He squatted that ball nicely. Good break. Let's go ahead and take a look. Dealer's choice, open table. Robbie's got to put some thought into this one. I got MH in the booth. It's been a long time. He's been in another country for like a month.
Sunny old England I was in.
Yeah, was it?
Not a month, I'm afraid. I wish it was.
Seemed like it.
But go see the peeps.
Got to see the peeps. You didn't just say peep, did you?
Hello there, peeps.
If anybody's watching, just peep in here. Just say hi.
Just say hi. So I got MH doing the stats, so if something doesn't work, it's his fault.
Guess that means I've got to pay attention to what's going on now.
Yeah, we got to put their names in. So we got Justyn on the left.
It's going to be a good match. Justyn Campion. Champion without the H. Against our very own 10-foot tall Robbie Schmidt. First rack. Robbie with a good chance. And then playing 8-ball. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was Justyn's choice.
Excellent.
He chose 8-ball, race to 15. Robbie didn't care. He's like, people think I don't play 8-ball. Everyone assumes he's a rotation-only player. Robbie, that is.
Yeah.
And that is not true. At least that's what he said.
A little kiss on the 8-ball. Beautiful. I'd love to have been straight on this too. But I think he's still okay. Yeah, he's actually really good. Looking at the overhead view, you can see he can just play this 2-ball into the edge of the pocket and soft draw to the... Just nudge the 8-ball again.
Just nudge it.
Now, he doesn't want to be straight on this 5-ball.
Well, this is a little tricky.
He needed an angle on either side.
He needed something.
And now he's... Yep.
So do you got to, like, top left this with all your might and try to get to the left side of the table for a nice shot on the 4-ball? I mean, this is not easy. Or can you play it off the 14?
Maybe off the rail, off the 14, just to create an angle.
Yeah, that would get you something.
It looks like he does have a tiny angle. He's drawing though, isn't he? So I think he's just. He did play off the 14.
And he used top left.
Spun it around. That was a really good shot. Yeah, you better save that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to start the highlight reel starting now.
Yeah. Now, he needs to come up with another good shot here because he's going to have to negotiate nudging the 13 here and still follow forward.
I think you just got to put top on it, right? Hope you get down there.
Oh, he played that really well.
Yeah, that's a makeable shot by, great shot by Robbie.
This is a super, super finish to this rack.
This will be a break and run.
8 ball's not in yet.
Oh, well, okay. You know what? It looks easy on the screen, but I'm looking at it on the table. This is a pretty sharp cut. In the hole.
Makes it look easy. That was a really good finish.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, so look, there he's pointing his cue. He's showing you he is deliberately playing it off the 13, so he gives himself a little bit more angle. He's still got to force it.
Unbelievable shot.
Watch it with spin, zing around, roll the dice a little bit with where that 14 goes.
Unbelievable.
But the cue ball went exactly where he played it.
One break and run for Robbie.
Right.
So we're keeping stats here as far as unforced errors, which people think is opinionated, but it's not.
Yeah, you've got the rules there for that.
Dry breaks,
Yep.
break and run, and safeties played. So if we just pay attention to maybe these three and the unforced errors, it's kind of opinionated. You miss a shot, is it an unforced error? Well, technically it is.
Well, he made a ball there, so that does not count in the dry breaks rack category.
Correctamundo. Fred Renner says, hi, Chris and MH. Happy holidays, gentlemen.
Hello, Fred.
How you doing, Fred? Riley Whetstone, hello, hello. Mike B says, where in the UK? I just get back from Crowther, up by the Newcastle.
Crowther, okay.
Crowther.
Way north where they speak really weird up there. Even in the south where I'm from, they can hardly even understand what the northern.
So how do they say Crowther? Even different than you, probably.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't have an accent for that?
If you go really far north, you just can't understand what they say. And if you go even further north than that, you end up in Scotland. Scotland is like our Canada.
Yeah.
Just up there. And then if you go further north than that, you fall off the edge of the planet.
That's like Scotty from Star Trek, right? I'm giving all she's got.
Yeah.
And that's Scottish, right?
Right.
Okay.
And that Scotty's accent, what was his name? Patrick Doohan or something, wasn't it?
I don't know his real name. That's the sad part of this whole story. I just know.
I don't think he was Scottish, was he?
I hope
he
so.
put on that accent, Scotty did.
Well, then you can't do that nowadays.
Cultural appropriation. It's okay to rip on the...
I apologize to everybody for my accent attempt.
I think it's still okay to rip on the Scottish and the Irish.
I'm going to just refrain from commenting anymore, just in case. You never know these days. Kelly Burdine says, hi, guys. Nick Like, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Lake. And Mr. Lake asked me earlier, are you going to be commentating today? And I said, I totally never even thought about it. Don't think
Heck, yes, he's commentating. What would it be like without an English accent up here? It would just be me.
Wouldn't miss this. This is going to be a good match here. I'm a fan of Justyn Campion's style, too. He's a very good player. We haven't seen him yet.
We are going to see him now.
Come to the table for the first time.
So was
other than lagging.
That was a safety played. It's not bad, actually. So I'm going to block that top left pocket, leave the cue ball way down where he won't have anything but maybe a combo.
Right. A pocket speed combo to get the 15 to hang close to the corner pocket, block the 8 ball.
I like it.
Or go in and run out.
I think that'd be a great shot. And you're not going to sell out too much with the 1 ball sitting there.
It's tough for him to really think about playing any kind of safety, because I just don't see where that would be. Answers on a postcard.
What's he doing?
I think he's playing.
Ooh, a safety played right back.
That wasn't. Okay, so I stand corrected. There was the answer. But he's left. He hasn't left much, has he?
No, I think it's one of those. Yep, he's just going to leave him in the same position. But now the 15 does go. Philip says 14 in the side. I didn't even see that.
So
That was probably the shot before. He went for it.
yeah, I would like to have got a little bit closer.
I still think he's okay with the one ball unless Robbie has a plan to break that out. And you don't want to leave that till the end. We all know how that goes.
So in answer to Mike B, who mentioned that he just got back from the north of England, I went. It was 3 different spots we went to. First, we visited my sister in Oxford, which is more middle or southish.
Is that the Richie Rich part?
It's a nice little old village with
Nice.
thatched cottages, and you know what thatched roofs are, so where the roof is made out of straw.
Really?
Yeah, they've been doing that for hundreds of years.
Wow.
And, you have
Sounds
to,
beautiful.
Yeah, you have to replace it like every 5 or 10 years. But and then off to
So what happens if you put on regular roof?
then it doesn't look
Do they have a home
well.
association that won't let you change the look of the neighborhood?
Yeah, on some of them, but not necessarily. No, on those. But I don't know. But it loses its. It doesn't look right.
I would agree. Keep it looking cool,
Yeah.
even if it costs you more. But straw isn't that expensive, right?
No, it's the skill to know how to put it on a roof.
So it's waterproof. That's interesting.
And they actually encourage moss to grow on it because that kind of stops the rodents and birds living in it.
What do you think about the one ball? He actually worked his way over there.
Yeah, he's got the only pocket is potentially a bank shot. Or possibly a super thin cut shot into the long corner, but
Yeah.
he's got to do something. He's getting his jump cue out,
What's he going to do?
so he's playing the 5 ball, that means.
Still no real home for the one unless you take that down to the bottom right.
Yeah. And if he gets an angle on the 2 ball,
That will
he's
be
got
ball in
chances.
hand.
So, yeah, you'd ask me to do the stats there, and you've done every single one.
I'm just
Tough
keeping
to
up with it.
It's tough to pay attention to that, isn't it, when you're also trying to watch the match?
Well, yeah. It sometimes. And I got the questionnaires for Justyn and Robbie. They filled them out. So in between, they're going to have player breaks.
Yeah.
So we'll take that out, player break. We're all set up, man. We're organized. We're ready to rock.
What are they playing for today?
Well, this is 500 in the middle,
Okay.
2-person tournament. I don't know if they agreed to more. I'll be honest with you. I have to look at the flyer.
So this is Justyn's first real chance, and it's a good chance to level it up.
Yeah, has anyone seen the flyer? Is it more than the minimum? You guys would know better than me. Surprisingly, it is true. I know Kendall posted the King of the Hill flyer yesterday and kind of spammed it out there in all the Facebook groups. It's kind of interesting that we've seen much more than the minimum the past couple months, which keeps it exciting. When you
Yeah.
got 1,000 in the middle, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a huge deal, isn't it? Winning or losing. So he spent some time here trying to figure out how he wants to transition from these 2 balls up to those 3. And he's okay. It's not exactly on.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah, I mean, he's still got the 11, and he can pop it in. And
do you take the 11 in the side so that you kick the 14 to the bottom left?
maybe, or
I mean, for me, I feel
pop it into the corner.
and then just slide out. Yeah, that's probably a.
No, he's playing the side pocket. He liked your idea, and he controlled that well. And that was the only concern I had for that shot, is where the 14 goes.
Right. You don't really know. You know a
but
little.
Hit it at that speed, soft enough that it can't get to a rail.
Correct. So now he's got to think about this. 14 to the 12 with an angle to wrap this up.
Yeah, just wants to go be short of straight.
Justyn's confident with his draw stroke. We'll see if he's just as confident with his stun.
Well, this is going to be another draw shot.
Pull it back.
And you've got to judge it well, because you don't want to, you've got to make sure you draw it. You don't want to just leave it there, stopping there, but you obviously don't want to draw all the way back, get in trouble with the 6.
Beautiful.
Happy with that.
That's 2 good draw shots. I mean, that tells me he's confident. He's feeling good. A lot of times you get a little nervous. You overdraw things.
Well.
Ooh, man, I thought that was still going to go in. This gives 1 chance. Would you say 1 chance?
Sure, and it's a good one. Robbie doesn't have too much problem here. That 8 ball blocking that corner isn't going to hurt at all, because he can get on the 1 as he just did.
That's a beautiful leave on the 1. Saving the 6 for last. What do you think about that?
Well, if you get on it good like this.
You got no issues.
Yeah. So what happened on that 8 ball? He played those other shots good.
I think his draw, maybe after looking at that angle, I think the draw was a little short. I think he wanted to come a little bit straighter on that 8. And
look how deep this 8 ball is. It's not an automatic gimme, is it? That you make this and don't scratch. You've got to.
I think you've got
to plan it.
I think you got to pop it in.
You just stop it, yeah. Bang.
Ooh, that's risky. That is risky.
Oh, he scratched, did he?
Wow.
I was playing doubles with Mason one time, a long time ago, and I played a shot just like that, and it looked like it was just going in the side pocket, and I whipped it away in disgust like he just did. And Mason said to me afterwards, that ball wasn't going in.
You never know. It's not. That's close to a concession. We're not going to pull out the rule book on him. He's obviously frustrated. We saw it going into the side. And the 8 ball was down, so that's an instant loss. Now, if you're playing rotation, you'd actually spot the money ball back up, and the other player would get ball in hand. A little different with 8 ball. So, when he said that it wasn't going in, did you believe him?
Yeah, I did. I'm sure he was right. In hindsight, looking back at it, like that shot there, I'm not 100% convinced that ball was going in, but Robbie probably knows better than we do.
It looked like it.
It was kind of going towards the point, wasn't it?
Yeah, you never know.
Could have gone in off the point.
Well, we do have a replay.
Good.
We'll let Justyn break here, and we'll take a look at the replay.
Pops the
wow,
cue ball.
that was a lot of top English.
Yeah, the cue ball jumped a lot, and then
here's the replay. See if we can get this in quick.
Does everybody agree this is definitely going to scratch on the side?
You probably have to watch the right side, which has a 2-second delay. Does it go for the pocket? Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, okay.
With that being said, it's also just a little bit of frustration, having that ball in the pocket, popping up, and trying to draw it and missing it by a couple inches. Really, from a stop shot, that will definitely frustrate a player.
Yeah, because given that 8 ball, you really shouldn't have any reason to scratch.
No,
well, except for in the pocket that the 8 ball's hanging in.
Could you have just kind of gone rail first and shot it soft, or?
I think you could have actually just hit the ball and the rail pretty much at the same time, or even the ball first thin with almost hardly any speed. But he didn't like that. You should have been able to play just a simple stop shot too, and that's probably what he was playing. But he didn't have to hit the side rail because he hit the rail right next to the pocket too, and that's what allowed the cue ball to fly out with speed.
Fred Renner. Yeah, it was something I didn't really know how to bring up, but us in the pool community and family. He says, I would like to give my condolences to the family and friends of Pete Hurd.
Yeah.
Fred says, I've only met him one time, but he left a lasting impression. He was a true ambassador of the game of pool and Wisconsin.
And a seriously tough player.
Very, very sad news. Mike B says he just drew it back way too hard. I feel like he was trying to get that
yes,
pop.
but it wasn't all draw because he did catch the rail right next to the 8.
And if you watch that replay, I feel like it jumped a little bit. You know, with the carbon fiber shafts, if you jack up and you hit it, sometimes it jumps. They're so stiff.
I would like to see that shot again. I know we're gonna what do they call it? Flogging a dead horse, but
no, I'm into it.
Why did that cue ball have so much
Justin's
speed
thinking
on
of
it?
this. Okay, so he jacks up. Now watch the cue ball. Does it
So
leave
should
the
just be a
table?
stop shot, shouldn't it? But
It left
bang.
the table.
And
It jumped.
It really wasn't draw that brought it back, was it?
Well, once you jump, it's bouncing all over the place. It was probably, in the air when it hit the 8. That could have flew off the table. He's lucky. I could be wrong. I might have to slow that down and throw that in Wisconsin Player Society and let everyone voice their opinion on that shot. But if I slow that down, slow motion, I think you'll see that it left the table and then bounced towards the 8.
Yeah, and actually the balls bounce a lot more than people know. I remember this thing when I was watching snooker back home a long time ago where they did this thing where they started watching with the slow motion camera and they were all surprised at how much bouncing was going on just regular shots.
Yeah, I mean, if your cue's not level, the physics has to happen, right? Let's not bring up physics. I think I woke MH up. He's calculations. He's like Einstein over here.
No. I was just going to merely comment, you're just making no sense right now, man.
So Riley says, is that an error on the 8 shot? Correct, it is.
Oh. Did you score it?
Yes.
Attaboy.
And Rez said he missed the center. So,
right.
Obviously he was maybe a jump, little masse, little hop. Everything went wrong. Everything.
So Robbie's got to negotiate his way around this to try and get a shot on this 10 ball. It looks like the 9 does not go past the 8.
Yeah, it's tricky to see. Maybe we could take a look at the overhead.
So he just wants to roll this in and maybe even...
I think it goes.
Bump the 9. Yeah, he's not playing the 9. Drift past it. Yeah, that's perfect.
Beautiful.
He's got a lovely little angle on the 9. He's got to negotiate, make sure he doesn't hook himself, but there's a way down. There is a way down there. He actually doesn't have to get down there, does he? Why risk it? Stay up top. You need an angle on this last stripe to get back up on the 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of natural. Do you go behind the 8?
No, he's staying up top. He's not risking any of that. Because he needs this angle anyway to make...
I see what you're saying.
Now with this angle, the position is simple and...
Right.
It's a soft shot.
Little left English, come back, get behind the 8. Ooh. I think he cut that a little thin, which took away from the left English. But he's fine.
No, he doesn't want to do what Justyn did. He stopped himself there.
I like that he slowed down. Correct, Riley. Yeah, if you miss an 8 or you miss any shot, really, and you sell out, that is an unforced error. Keeping us on our toes today, gentlemen. We got 1,000 viewers. Not quite. But we do want to thank everybody and wish everyone happy holidays and safe as we go into the New Year's weekend for 2023 to see what this year will bring us. Robbie to break.
With his BK Rush.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of Predator stuff. Full package Predator.
And that is a dry break.
Well, there you go.
The names are on the same side as the score over
Correct.
there, are they? Okay.
Robbie with the first dry break tonight that we've recorded. I'm pretty sure this is really the first dry break. They've been breaking pretty good.
So Justin's eyeballing stripes here. Figuring out if he likes that 11, 12 combination at some point.
Yeah. If you're going to take it.
Get on it right after this 9.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think it's like a walk in the park, though. You know, the 15
No.
to the 14, everything is a little...
And solids aren't bad, and he does have a shot on the 7. And I stand corrected. He does like solids.
I kind of like it, too. I mean, you get that 3 out of the way now.
Delicate little bump on the 14 ball here.
She was delicate.
Brush past it.
Snicked it. So what's the weather like in where you went in Europe? Is it warmer?
Well, it's not Europe anymore, is it? After Brexit.
I don't know.
Yeah, Britain left Europe.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
guys are on the island.
Yeah, the Royal Navy
forget.
hooked up these great big chains to the mountains and dragged Britain out to sea.
It said, you guys stay over here. The UK. I really, you know, I should beef up on my European history.
It now really is the United Kingdom. It used to be the United Queendom.
That is true. Ooh.
So he passed up the opportunity to take the 2 ball when he was on it just there. And the only reason I say that is it's kind of surrounded by balls and you just got to make sure you get on it good. With pinpoint precision shooting.
That is a bit tricky, though. You got to really think about where you're going to put the cue ball next.
Yeah, so one thinks probably drift past the 1 and get the 1 in the side pocket.
I like that.
I don't really like it, but...
And if you overhit it, you can always do the 6.
Down to the bottom rail and get on the 6. Yeah, that's actually better.
Okay. I see where he's going with this. Question is he going to draw back for the 1 in the side?
I think so.
And then just roll up for the 8? He's got himself in a position.
It's a very angle-critical type shot getting on the 1 ball here.
And not having the 12 kind of...
It doesn't have much else in the way of pockets other than the other side pocket.
Right. The biggest issue is can he dig under it with the 1 ball sitting there?
And he's kind of his bridging is hampering there. So he's decided, just to let it fly forward and get an angle on the 1. And the nice thing about this, although it looks longer, is the cue ball can be sent over for the 8 ball, whereas the other way, if you get your angle wrong, it gets difficult to get on the 8.
This is kind of natural. As long as you don't get tied up.
He's got to dig down a little bit, though.
Okay.
Doesn't really want to just follow this, I don't think. Well, he is aiming to follow it, so... Just going straight up table.
You know, it's an opportunity.
I would have been tempted to go lower and get it closer to the 8 ball and not have to brush past the 14, but he was happy.
I mean, the older you get, the closer you want them to be together.
Yeah. Especially after
Justin's pretty young.
Especially after that 1 8 ball he missed. He's not going to do that again, though, is he?
There we go. Speaking of age, Justyn is 33.
A mere baby.
Yeah. Downhill after 50, I've heard.
2 years older than Robbie.
Really?
And only 3 feet shorter.
Yeah. You know, I think there's something to being shorter and playing pool, too, though.
I think all those great Filipino players, they're all
right.
My height.
I think it's just they're at the table. They don't have to bend down too much. I'm guessing most of you people probably saw the Joe Rogan Federer Gorst podcast that was released a couple days ago.
Oh, really? No, I missed that one.
Well, you can watch it anytime you want. It's free.
Okay.
Or if you have Spotify Premium, you can watch it too without ads.
Justyn's breaking with the Mez Power Break 2. It's two stripes on the break.
Fedor was talking about pool and kind of affecting his back, the straightness of his back, because he's always constantly twisting one way and not the other.
It is weird, isn't it? You stick one hip out.
Always. It's Kendall Cook in the house. Happy birthday. If anybody did not know, it's Kendall's birthday today. He's in the chat with the little tool next to his name.
Happy birthday.
Kendall says, nice out. Keeping us tied at 2-2 in this beautiful race to 15. Riley says, the older you get, the harder to see across the table.
He's got himself a nice wide open table. Actually, all of these breaks have opened up pretty well, haven't they? Balls up table.
Their breaks are good.
So what's your deciding factor here, Chris?
You know, I kind of like stripes.
Do you? Except for the first shot. I mean, it definitely has shots, so if you really like stripes, you can take them.
I'd want to be drawing this, and you can't.
That 6-ball just seems sort of a simple beginning, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like where
as long as you can negotiate your way around and don't lose the cue ball with this shot, you can be pretty happy, and he can be pretty happy with that.
Plan B. The 1 ball?
What was plan A?
Probably the 5, or shorten up for the 3 in the side. But let's say, you know what? He did get the 4. He got a little room for the 4 out there, so it's not a mistake in positioning. If anything, Justyn's got very, very good cue ball control so far in these first 5 games. Riley says, happy birthday, Kendall. Kendall's going on, 38?
Thereabouts. Well, that one's
little wide.
Drifting. Hand on hips. What did I do?
What did he do?
Got a packed house here at the Mad Apple tonight.
Yeah,
as
I can't believe.
Often the case on Friday nights.
Honestly, he's got about 40 players for the 10-ball Friday weekly, which I think is a new record.
Is it?
For Friday. I think it's a holiday weekend. People don't have any work. Maybe they're enjoying themselves.
So, 14, he's got to negotiate away. Find a pocket for the 14. A side pocket, probably.
Robbie's not happy, but... Can you put top on this 15 and come around for the 14 in the corner? Same pocket? Or is the 5 ball in the way?
Yes. If you hit it hard enough to do that, you kind of... It squirts wide and kind of clips the 5 ball.
Yeah.
If you hit it soft, I think you can just drift forward for that window between the 4 and the 5.
Yeah.
But it's not really a very nice angle on the 14, though, then considering you still got to get on the 13.
Then 3 rails around.
I mean, he could shoot the 13 right now and pop around 2 rails and miss those 2 balls, I think.
Nope, Robbie's going straight for it.
He's going to draw into the 5 or behind the 5. That's...
Ooh, bad.
And that goes, does it? Past the 4?
Yeah.
And then he's okay.
He's okay, other than the shape on the 13.
Yeah. And what angle do you like to get from the 13 to the 8? And that's pretty much what he was looking at. So
that was a great... I mean, he didn't have a lot of room to work with, and he drew that back perfectly.
Because of where the 7 ball is, This is not simple, but he's digging down, drawing back, and that is just perfect. What a nice shot. You should replay that one.
Beautiful.
That looping draw shot to kind of send the cue ball off at the right angle. Made it look simple, really. Made it look obvious, but it really wasn't.
I mean, just the right amount of draw and a little bit of right English.
Yeah, somewhere between draw and stun.
And we'll take a look at that right here. Comes around nicely. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's a really good draw shot.
So you can see we got Justyn sitting there on the left, Robbie racking. Justyn's listening to some tunes. Hope he's not listening to us.
What's that display in front of the TV there in that shot?
I don't know. I actually didn't get a chance to look at it. Maybe Kendall can chime in.
Well, is that Kendall was, for his birthday, wanted to raise money for that charity. And I think that's to do with that, but I haven't gone over and had a study of it yet. Kendall, you're still watching. If you want to let us know what that charity is that you're looking to raise money for.
Cal says, no need for that kind of stroke. But that's how Robbie likes to play. He likes to stun balls in. He likes to use the nice draw English shots like that. I mean, he's a rotation player, and that's a very common rotation shot.
So that was a dry break.
Absolutely.
And it must have been an unforced error from Justyn previously, because he was on the verge of breaking and running that previous rack, wasn't he?
Correct.
And this is another rack where half the balls are up table. Look how, spread out they are, these balls.
I'm loving
Again,
stripes.
every one of these breaks so far.
The 2-4 are like a hard no for me. So I like that Justyn chose stripes. Just got to work through this side of the table.
Yeah, he's got that one strike ball down at the other end, close to a pocket, and it might be his last ball getting on the 8.
I like what he's got going on here, though. Taking that side ball, rolling up, you'll have at least 2 shots after this. Player's choice, right?
Yeah, and you got to figure out which way you're going to shoot the 10 ball.
Now, does the 10 go all the way up?
I think it does. It looks like it goes in.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Could go past the 7.
You're going to have a great angle, though.
And he's got to pick one of these 3 balls as the transition ball to get down on the 12. And the more balls he shoots, the more certain we are that the 12 is going to be the last ball. And so it's going to be the 10 ball that's the transition to the 12. He's going to shoot the 9 now. A little shake of his head there.
You could bank the 10 if you're feeling...
He could bank the 10.
I mean, it's not the worst bank in the world.
And in snicking this 9 ball over into the corner pocket, may end up choosing to play the 12 before the 10.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, MH.
Just because of the angle that he's got on this 9. But he's got to negotiate and know if he's going to be kissing any other balls here.
I mean, you got to look at the tangent line. And that tangent line is scary.
Yeah, I don't really like this.
The 8 ball's huge right now.
Yeah, if the 8 ball wasn't there, it would be simpler, wouldn't
right?
it? Because he could just follow through that space.
So Kendall says, no, it doesn't have to do with the charity. That's something I'm trying to figure out. Someone made for me. It's basically a collage for my birthday.
Ah.
But he has no idea who made it.
Huh. What is it? Santa's elves left it in the middle of the night.
If anybody knows who made Kendall's collage, his birthday collage.
Fascinating.
And then he says the charity that Kendall was working with for his birthday, is it NAMI, NAMI, Wisconsin, on his personal Facebook page. And I probably butchered the way of saying that, but NAMI, Wisconsin. If you're looking to donate to a charity, Went for the cross bank. All he really had. That would be an unforced error for Campion. Let's see if Robbie can navigate through this 6-2-4.
Yeah. Another table run bites the dust.
It would have been a league table run since Robbie broke dry. Doesn't count
Well,
here.
no, yeah, this one hasn't bit the dust. I mean, Justyn's, because he broke those balls so well. He was trying to get a little nudge on the 3, I think. He wanted to get on the 4 ball because the 4 ball did have a window.
Man, that's tough. You have to shoot the 1 now, right? I mean, either that or play safe.
It's tough because there's 2 balls on the table. The 9 ball, you know, if there's a saving grace for Robbie, the 9 ball really is semi-awkward. He wants to play his safety off these 2 balls and break them up. And he's not too happy with that.
No, but I don't think it's a sellout. That 9 ball's tough.
Yeah. Yep. He's going to be happy at least that he didn't leave a shot on the 12. He hasn't really left a very good bank unless you think about banking it in the corner for the 9.
I don't like anything about this.
No,
There's nothing you can do.
there's a super thin cut all the way up on the 9.
That's pretty much it, huh? And then you got to hope that you get over for the 12.
The position is fraught with danger, plowing through all those solids. There's a kick shot on the 12, but it doesn't really offer you a good position either. So his back's up against the wall with this one, Justyn. Looks like he's getting down to shoot something. I don't know what.
Rhino says, it's like Champion without the H.
Yeah, that's what I always think that.
We'll see if Campion will be the champion after this match.
Campion the champion. Catchy, isn't it? Look at that cut shot.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow. It held.
He's not out of the woods yet, but you might want to hit the replay button on that one.
Yeah, that was a beautiful cut. Hit it right. Had a lot of right-hand spin, which helped it go in.
And the direction the cue ball ended up going after it kissed over those balls was left a little bit to chance.
So what do? Kick this? I mean, short side, 12 in the upper left corner. I mean, what do you got? Massé?
Maybe a spin shot. Just breathe past the 3 and the 6 and hit the rail and spin into the 12.
I mean, you could kick around the 8 if you're looking to go towards it. I don't know if he likes kicking. You know, I mean, a lot of people see the angles.
What else are you going to do? He doesn't have a jump shot from there, I don't think.
You know, if you kick to the right, see, that's what he's looking at now, the left side kick. If you kick to the right, I think you're going to get safe.
This shot is there. It's very difficult to judge this one. No, he's not going around the 8. He's going to play that first shot. It's a sort of a massé.
Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Into the rail first. The only way to make this ball is to be so close to actually missing the ball completely.
Oh,
what a brilliant try.
What?
Really, really good try.
Man, that was so close. Nice try, Justyn. So Robbie with another attempt at pretty much an open table here. Much more open now.
And that shot of Justyn's there, he was just a hair away from making it. He was just a hair also away from missing the ball completely.
This is a beautiful attempt.
Got a good hit on it. But left Robbie a nice open table.
Riley said bank the cue. So like a kick shot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I mean, honestly, Riley, Justyn did really, really well with the massé, and that was more of a massé. That wasn't a swerve. Darn near nailed it. Yep, exactly. So Robbie's working through this now that he got those balls broken up, one at a time. Yeah, I like taking the 1 here first. Maybe leave an angle and just slide back over for the 8 in the bottom left. You know, a little straight, but enough angle. If you just stun this, the cue ball should come out and give you...
It's tough to get much speed on this at all.
Yeah.
Even if you whack it, it barely gets into the... Okay, he got out nicely, didn't he? Beautiful stroke.
Put some power on it. He didn't want to chance it. Wanted the 8-ball to be as easy as possible. Rhino says that was a great try. Heck yeah, it was. Another one for Robbie. Robbie 4, Justyn 2 in this race to 15. Let's take another look at that Mass A shot. Look at that, man.
It broke just at the right time too, isn't it? The way it bent.
It hit the rail first.
Yep.
And that's what caused...
Well, I think it was always going to. I think that was the plan.
I mean, it was so close. So close.
But...
And Woody had a shot on the
speed of
8.
that was almost perfect. The way it bent around those, just started bending once it got to the 3 and the 6. We'll watch it one more time.
It's a great
Robbie's
shot.
just about to break. Look at that. Right down the middle.
Oh,
got a little
stretched.
kick and helped into the corner pocket.
We'll take a look at the numbers.
Now, does that count as an unforced error? Missed it.
I guess I should have turned them on, huh?
Ah.
There we go. So we've got 5 unforced errors between the two players each. 2 dry breaks from Robbie. Break and run, 1 for Robbie. And safeties played, not many yet. 1 from Justyn, 2 from Robbie. It's been a pretty clean game. There hasn't been a lot of misses. Breaks have been great. Honestly, between the 1 dry break and the scratch on the break, that probably is one of the biggest reasons Robbie doesn't have, another 1 game on his side of the board.
So with ball in hand, Justyn takes the 1 ball that was, or the 7 ball, I should say. That was kind of awkwardly placed. So he's
looks like a great out here.
Yeah, the only sort of question here, not the only question, because he's got to get... Yeah, he hit that well. But you've got to figure out which pocket he's shooting the 5 in.
So do you just kind of slow roll this 3 in so you got an angle on the 6?
Yeah, that's right. And from there, you have your choices. You could go anywhere from this position.
This can be tricky, right? You want to shoot the 5 in the bottom left.
Do you? Well, what about the side pocket? Does it go past the stripe in the side?
Let's take a look at this.
Because he's got enough angle, he could get down there if he wants.
Yeah.
If he's trying to stay on top of it, he's actually not got a very good angle. So he did try and stay on top of it, and he used a lot of spin there.
Went a little far.
Well, yes, maybe, but it's definitely a lot better than not getting past that straight line.
Question is, does it go past the 8?
And the 8 looks like it goes past the 11, so
exactly.
I think he can just stun across here. If he's straight enough, he doesn't have to. He can just roll it in and shoot the 8 in the other corner. He's got a bit of an angle here. That'll do nicely.
Yeah, that'll do. Oh, if you're still listening, Kendall, I brought my T-shirts in. I'm ready for my That'll Do donkey. Kendall came up. Well, Patrick came up with kind of a joke on Star Wars. These aren't the droids you're looking for. And it says these aren't the rolls you're looking for.
The rolls?
Yeah, the rolls. And everyone kept spelling it ROLES in chat. It was beautiful. I mean, that's the part I thought was funny. Yeah.
As in Rolls Royce.
Yeah, or no. Like, the role you have at work, or something like that. The role you play. So we're talking, Robbie always says he doesn't get any rolls, on the pool table.
Yeah.
Good rolls. He always gets bad rolls. But 2 weeks ago, I swear Robbie was hitting everything perfect. The ball was always going in the right place. It was bumping off of things. He was getting every roll in the book. So 2 new shirts. One that says, these aren't the rolls you're looking for.
It's a Darth Vader quote. Okay.
And then I think on
people
Sunday.
going to get that it's Star
They
Wars
did.
related? Okay.
They did. They just didn't know how to spell rolls. You know.
So,
ROLLS versus ROLES.
right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. It is.
So Darth Vader said to Luke Skywalker, Luke, I know what you're going to get for Christmas. And Luke's like, how? He's like, I felt your presence.
I don't know. How did your jokes go over in the UK?
They don't get him.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I think he'd be a hit out there. Everybody's drunk out there, right? Like 95% of the time?
I don't know. I was wasted.
Well, we'll take that as a victory.
It's a good little shot there. Nudge those balls. Keep them open.
So anyway, my shirt, because I was talking about that'll do, donkey, and then someone was explaining that phrase came from that'll do, pig, from an old movie. Long story short, Kendall's like, we're going to make some new shirts. So we're going to have those aren't the rolls you're looking for, and that'll do, donkey. Because donkey and pool, donkey's like, what's a donkey and pool? What's your definition?
The opposite of a shark.
All right.
Is it?
I think so.
It's a bit rude to donkeys, isn't it?
The person that runs the table but misses the 8 every time, letting their whole team down. That's the donkey.
We actually just went and visited last week in England a donkey sanctuary. This guy collects abandoned donkeys or from all over Europe. And
Abandoned?
Abandoned or not used or just about to have their lives terminated because they're not needed anymore, and enormous quantity of donkeys. And we came back with some what they call on the packet, and I hope it's not true, donkey-covered or chocolate-covered donkey poo, which tastes just like chocolate.
I would assume it is just that.
I hope.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I left the shirts in the back there. I don't know if you remember, there used to be an artwork up on the side wall there. Was a donkey with an 8-ball in his mouth. That sold right away. So whoever the artist was for that should make more. Oh, no.
So he had a very small, tiny little windows that he was trying to get through here. There's a lot of balls in the way. And as soon as he hit that, he threw his head in the air because he knew that he was getting himself in trouble.
Well, you can see here it doesn't go by the 4-ball.
He's got a Hail Mary kick shot attempt coming up. He's doing his little calculation there, splitting the angle.
So I was talking to Robbie earlier, and he was kind of wondering why everybody said he's hitting too hard, And there's a reason for that. Number one, he had a pinch nerve in his neck.
Oh, yeah?
So he couldn't do a real slow stroke. His arm just wasn't working right. And two, that's how he likes to get in stroke. When you're not feeling it, he tries to slide the balls in versus, finesse them and spin them and slow roll them.
Yeah, and the power shots kind of amplify your stroke inaccuracies. So if you are whacking them in good, you can feel really good about your stroke.
Right. You're on. I think he was looking for that to just kick in. So that combined with the pinch nerve was really the reason. Because he watched that video and he noticed at least half a dozen people were just saying, man, why is Robbie hitting everything so hard? So he felt he'd best explain himself to you fine folks out there. I don't see too many problems here.
He's left himself a fair bit of angle. I guess that means he doesn't want to play the 3-ball the long way up past the 9. He's going towards the side pocket here.
Yeah, that's a risk. That is a risk.
Got a little point there to help him.
Wow.
Look at him, he's having a little chuckle. You can't see his face there on the camera, but he's...
we've all been there.
He's back into serious mode now. Just readjusting that black woolen hat. Got it just right now.
It's pretty warm out there. He must be really warm.
Yeah, I could not wear a woolly hat under these conditions in a warm building.
I don't know. I'd probably faint.
So he is going to play the 3-ball a long way up after all.
Yeah, I think the cue ball's getting away from him a little bit on each shot. He's got his work cut out for him. The leave on the 8's not a gimme.
He's got just a little bit more angle.
Would you stun that so that it comes off the top rail there and out for the 8?
So what he's just shown you there is he can't stay straight on the 8. He's going to drift past straight, but where he pointed with his cue is still a makeable shot. So, yeah, he's planning on just rolling softly forward.
Oh, I like that. That makes it a little bit easier.
And that's it. He knew he was still going to have a makeable 8-ball here.
Andrew says, why not explain himself in the chat live while he's playing? I forgot. Was Robbie in the chat last week? 2 weeks ago? I think he popped in. But I don't think he listens to the whole thing. That would be so distracting.
Yeah. And once you start trying to talk, you're just going to take yourself out of your game. I like Justin's little alien shirt. He's got a little spaceship on the back of his shirt there.
Oh, yeah? See if we can get a look at it here. Oh, yeah, a little UFO. You can see we've got a nice crowd over there in the middle, in the back by the tournament booth. Who isn't here? Is that Wes? I think everybody's here tonight. 40 people for the weekly. So if you're in this area, you got to seriously start considering getting over here. Fridays and Mondays at 7. We got 10 ball and 9 ball. And then Sunday, 1 p.m. is our grand 8 ball.
That's right. And Monday was another 40-player tournament, wasn't it?
I'm telling you.
Last Monday. And I think Fong won that one. Tournament director Fong himself.
Wow, with 40 people. And that's an added of, I think that's $75 or $100 added once you get up to that number. Thank the pool hall for that. Not a dry break.
No, and he looked like he controlled the cue ball, but it got kicked. But he's safe.
He's got options. I do not like stripes, but I don't like the 3 ball either.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
Sam, I am.
Well, it depends. I mean, that combination there, I guess it throws the wrong way, doesn't it? And you can't get to the right side of it because of the 3 ball.
Yeah, that's tough.
But if you don't take stripes, it means you're left thinking about the 3 ball, and I don't like the 3 ball the most. At least with the stripes, if you don't like that combination.
What if you take the 6
you
with stun and just slam into all that stuff? Is that what a good player would do?
No, that's what I would do. It's a terrible idea.
But it's fun though, right? I'd give I'd give her one whack there. Just to see.
If you want to break him up though, he's got better options if he takes stripes with the 11 and the 14 down there. You can imagine getting on the 11 and just playing a gentle rolling shot on the 11 and
a gentle rolling shot
and finding a way to bump into the 15. And actually, of course, you don't want to hit it too soft.
Oh no, he's doing my thing. Here we go. Wow. Boom.
Well, he did it.
He's got it.
If that was exactly how he played it, it was quite amazing. Played it more controlled than what you described.
No, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you meant. No, but he did play your shot, didn't he? He did.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't hit it hard. Obviously, the line was there.
Yeah, I mean, if he can play this 3 ball and maybe use some left-hand spin to help it in.
Well, it'll go in off the... Yeah, you're right. You might have to spin that in with left. I see that.
The question is, can you also still end up...
The answer is yes.
With an eyeball to see the 4 ball.
I think if you put top on this and you spin that in, it'll carry him off the 9 and you'll have the 4 perfect. Come on, Justyn.
And he
Show him
doesn't
how
have
it's
to.
done.
So if he doesn't like the angle on the 3, the problem is shooting this 3 ball is, can you then get position on the 4 or hook, or are you going to hook yourself behind those stripes?
I think
so
he will.
He doesn't have to. He can get a different angle on this 3 ball, and that's what he's thinking here. He's going to shoot the 5 and get a nicer angle on the 3 ball.
That's smart. You know, you gambled once. Don't gamble anymore.
There you go. So he's just passed straight on the 3 ball, which is perfect. So he can just roll this 3 ball in, avoid the stripes completely, and get down there for the 4.
Do you put a little top left on this then, so that you kind of spin off the rail, or are you just using top?
No, I think just slow rolling.
Just slow roll
yeah.
with a little follow.
And that shot was simple, and it was simple because he left himself a really nice angle on it.
Angles are everything in pool.
So he played a great shot there to use the 5 ball to get that angle. Now, is he putting a lot of inside spin here to get over? No, he should have. He wishes he had.
Man.
Did not want to hit that, but he's still okay. But the problem, what he's just done there is he's put the 8 ball, now blocks the 7 ball a long way down, because without that 8 ball being there, you really don't mind that 7.
And I don't like the 7 going anywhere else.
He's going to shoot the 2 and then the 1.
Man, that bump.
And that careless little nudge on the 8 ball didn't help him at all.
Can say that again.
He might even be considering shooting directly at the 7 ball and playing a 7-2 combination right now. A 10 ball doesn't really help him. It doesn't go off the 10 in the side. It's just not in the right place for that. The overhead view shows you that trying to shoot the 7 in the side directly is an exceedingly thin angle, effectively tiny pocket that you're aiming at.
Well, MH, I just want to say thank you for helping me out tonight. I know you do the Fridays quite often.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And I know you just got back from your vacation, and you've got tons of cues waiting for you back there.
Wasn't really a vacation. I was visiting the family.
Yeah, that's a vacation.
You don't know my family.
Well, the way I look at it, you probably don't get out there very often. Or do you go every year?
No.
Yeah.
Wish I did.
Well, make it happen.
Okay, so I think he's going to... he's trying to drift right past the
Oh,
7.
man, that would have been brilliant.
Yeah, there's a few more inches, and that would have been absolutely perfect.
Now, are they touching? Let's get Ray over there.
It's now the opposite
Is
of
Ray here?
perfect.
He's the aficionado of if balls are touching.
Yeah, and even if they are, really got to watch this good. Get ready on the replay button here, because... Okay, he's got a little bit of angle on it, I guess. So it's not quite as double hitty as it might have been.
Yeah, so if you spin this, okay, he had a chance.
Looked like a clean hit.
I feel like he used right English instead of left.
It's a game of millimeters, this.
It is that.
It was almost a really, really good round, and now he's given advantage back to stripes.
One of these players is going to kick in and finish the rack, and then it's going to be, what do they say, curtains?
Yeah.
It's going to be curtains.
Curtains, Bugsy. It's curtains.
Curtains for the other player.
So now that 15-9 combination has not been touched since the beginning of the rack, but now it's a lot nicer because the 3 ball is not blocking the right-hand half of it, so you can hit the right-hand half of it and throw it in. This 9 ball, really, this combination is just fine, I think.
I don't see it. If you look at the right side, I don't see the physics of it going in.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like it's going to hit somewhere after the diamond there. Oh, so he's going to play safe.
He's going to play safe. He doesn't like it.
Ooh, there's an opportunity here for Justyn.
Now, why didn't he play into the 9 ball instead of the 15? Because
I know.
He could have ended up behind the 15.
That's a great question, MH. We'll have to ask him.
Does this 7 ball go anywhere, though? If it doesn't, he still really hasn't.
I mean,
it hasn't hurt.
There's a cross bank. You got to go for it. You just got to go for it.
Yeah. Are there kisses off the 10? Where does that go?
I'm seeing it. Crossbank, bottom right. Cue ball comes around, 3 or 4 rails, 8 ball in the upper left. It's going to be beautiful. I mean, you really don't have a safe, right? You got to go for something. It doesn't go anywhere else. Now, if you crossbank it, is there a scratch? I wasn't really looking at the tangent line.
Well, I mean, that doesn't have to be. I was wondering about that. He's played that off the 10 to bank it.
You know what? It turned out okay.
He should be, if Robbie doesn't have a shot on a stripe, he should still be in deep trouble.
Yeah,
Justyn should be after this shot.
What do you think? Safety or shoot the 14? What would you do, MH?
Well, the problem with the 14 is it is a sellout shot because you're going to come around and leave
Correct.
a shot on the 7. So you only shoot the 14 if you're really happy about making it. Otherwise, come off the 10 and end up behind the 14 or over towards the 9 and the 15 because you've got a huge part of the table over there where you're hooking him on the 7. He's shaking his head. It's not quite right, is it?
These are the kind of safes that you end up scratching on.
I think he can just play off the right-hand side of the 10 ball with right-hand spin and end up down towards the bottom rail and zing over a little bit. He's calling.
This is it.
Your shot, the 14. If he makes it, no one can say it's wrong. And he's wide open, and he's going to win the rack.
How about that?
It turns out, even if he'd missed it, he might have hooked him on the 7. But
it's another tough shot.
yeah, because he's got the 12.
So now, is this his redemption on shooting the right safety this time?
Oh, now he's going to hook him. Which to me, this shot on the 12 was easier than the 14 and safer. But there's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's kind of like a reset. You know, he wants a reset. If he gets ball in hand after this shot, I think we're high percentage Robbie finishes this game.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't get ball in hand, if Justyn doesn't make the 7, which seems pretty tough to even hit it, Robbie's still got the rack.
Patrick Glynn chimes in with his brother somewhere in the house, the brothers Glynn. What's up, boys? At the Apple tonight playing some 10 ball. It's nice to see out there playing in the tournaments, Patrick.
I think he almost has to go 2 rails into this bottom left, cue ball towards this bottom left corner, hit the 7, and you're going to call it in the side pocket, either off the 12 straight into the side past the 10 or off the 10. There's a couple of different ways it can end up getting there.
I mean, you can't just tie a ball up.
He's got to get a good hit. Well, he's got to get a good hit.
Well, I've seen Taylor do a lot of things like this where he'll maybe tie the 8 with the 10 and just hope.
That doesn't really see that on. So he thinks he can go 1 rail. He's going to stiffen this up. Oh, no, it is 2 rails.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. That was in between 2 rails and 3 rails. Not sure which one he was really going for.
Well, ball in hand for Robbie.
You'd think the 15 first. Just to simplify everything.
It took me a second, but yeah, that's the trouble ball. 15-9. Probably 10. I mean, unless you can stay on the other side, use the 10 for your key before the 8, but I don't see that happening here.
No, I don't think so.
Not with this angle.
I mean, you'd have to work hard to get... To use the 10 as the last ball, you'd have to work hard to get nice and straight on it. And...
There we go.
He's going to take it out first.
Yes, for sure. I mean, at this point, it's kind of a stop shot, a little bit of draw, 8 ball on the upper left. don't see too much going wrong here. But I like that Robbie's taking
There
his
is
time.
definitely ways this could go wrong just because of where that 7 ball is. And he's done really well there. That has made this simple by getting this angle on here, which is taking the 7 ball out of the equation.
He's not afraid to stroke it. Yeah, I mean,
so
stun draw right over.
That well.
Beautiful shot. Got to get out my notepad. I may have actually done more of a slow roll out on that, and Robbie just proved that, this is the way to go to avoid that 7 ball. Good call there, MH.
Well, that's the difference between the thinking of a 600 and a 300.
I know.
And a 300.
Yeah, I am a 300.
No, you're not.
I haven't played for 3 weeks. I think every week that you don't play, you go down about 20 points. I'm still bummed about that chess match. I had you. I mean, I was like everything. I had all your good pieces. Someone comes in, talks to you for 5 minutes, and I completely lose it.
Those are called gambits.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I think that should be a lesson for me in pool, too. How easy I can get distracted and lose my queen. Rematch soon.
You bet. Another good break there.
Beautiful break.
Cue ball bounces back and then stops.
I like how the 15 sat there.
Balls spread across the table. Lots of balls cross the center line and head up table.
Take a look at the overview, but I don't see any other option. You have to take stripes here.
Because of the 1 ball. That's the only reason, really, isn't it?
I mean, unless it slides by the 6 even,
So
you know.
Yeah. And here's where, there's players who play a lot of league who think that they're smart and clever and would have said you leave that strike ball in the pocket blocking the 1, but that's assuming, you're not.
Right.
It means you're not betting on yourself getting out here, and that thinking can often lead your runs to be tougher.
No, you bring up a great point.
Robbie took that 'cause it was the natural shot if you're planning on running this.
I mean, think about that. How many players out there would have left that ball blocking the 1? I knew that was going to be risky.
I think the better players don't care about it, but the tactical thinking mid-range players have that in the back of their minds.
I'm curious.
He's not happy with this, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to get on the 14 here. He was trying to get on the 12 in the other side pocket.
Really difficult leave from where the 15 was.
Well, he's now got to navigate his way around the table. A lot of solids to get in the way, so you've got to find a good path here, Robbie. Digging down. Oh, wow, he played it in the corner.
Beautiful shot.
Which made his position much simpler. He did really well there.
All you really need here is what? A little bit of draw to get on the 9 or a stop shot. I think Robbie's working his way out of this one.
Smarter shot there, not afraid of a slightly tougher shot in the corner pocket. Thumps it in. And again, he chooses the more powerful stroke shot there.
I can't tell. I think
he's looking up to the stars.
Yeah, I don't think he liked it.
He's on it, though. I don't know.
I don't know if he is.
Wouldn't really complain about it. Yeah, he is.
Oh, he's really upset.
I don't know why. I must be wrong. He's looking at it like he can't get past this tour. It's close, but the overhead view.
His face went from white to red, so that means.
But he is just shooting straight at it.
Yeah, you can't complain about that.
He played that well. Yeah, he was worried about hiding behind the 3, I think.
A little bit of inside. Check the cue ball.
Yeah. So I do think that because the camera, on that overhead view, the camera's right in the middle. The camera obviously is not as big as the pool table. It's,
correct.
Effectively a point. Which means you would normally have a sort of a bent, sort of fisheye view of the table.
Right.
But what do you have software in there to straighten everything up, do you?
No. I mean, it's
not done purely with the lens, is it?
Well, I mean, if it was a mile in the sky, you'd have a curve.
No, the closer to the table you are, the more curved it is.
You're right.
If the camera was right center of the table touching the cloth, it would be like a horizon with it.
Well, Dr. Dave did a good YouTube video on cameras and pool. And I forgot what he called it. There's a technical term for the optics.
Yeah.
But it makes every stroke look crooked.
Right.
Because your cue always looks like it's bending a little bit. So everyone was commenting and saying, hey, how come that pro you had on last week didn't have a good stroke? She kept twisting. So he did a whole video
to explain why it looks like that.
And to prove the physics behind it. So you're right.
There's some kind of compensation going on there.
Because the camera is about, I don't know, let's say 8-9 feet above the table on the overhead. And it's directly in the center. So that's why everything.
So all your rays are sort of radiating outwards.
Right.
And these sort of.
I mean, if you take a look at
really,
it.
But when you look at that overhead view, everything looks so square. And so something's compensating for that, for the fact that the camera is in the middle looking out.
Oh, we don't touch any of it. It just does it.
I don't know if it's in the lens.
Must be.
Or the software.
Well, because we had problems with the USB cameras. They would actually curve the ends. But once you move up to a higher quality.
Everything naturally would look curved.
Right.
Unless they do something.
I mean, just you're looking under the rails here, basically, and you don't realize it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Nice shot on the 2 ball. I think he got a little wild on it, but there's plenty of options here.
Well, it's interesting to see how he's going to deal with this 4 and 7. I think you have to nudge him. I don't think it goes anywhere unless you get position on the 4 into the longer side pocket.
See, I'd be shooting the 6, then the 3 for a natural angle to get to that 4. Well, he got it. I mean, he's got the angle to break him up.
What do you mean?
If he shoots the 1, is that too straight? It's hard to tell. You're making me question the optics now.
I think maybe, but he would have to cheat the very edge of the pocket. It looks like he's really close to straight here, which means that may be possible. Yeah, and so that what he's just lined up there is eyeballing the 3 ball afterwards.
Right.
So yes, he's going to cheat the pocket to the edge of the pocket here and just tap the 4 and get position.
So Kelly says, if I have some trouble balls, I might leave it there. If open, it's down. What she's talking about is that defense.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Against the other player.
Correct. So if you've got issues and problems and you can't really see that it's clearly an open table, then you don't want to open up pockets because you envisage your opponent getting back to the table.
It's a good point,
but
Kelly.
if you take that sort of safety mentality too far, you limit yourself and take balls. It makes you run tougher because you kind of take them in a tougher order.
When you see that kind of stuff, if you're not confident, if things aren't going your way, or if the race is getting kind of out of hand, and a player starts playing a little safer, they start making decisions like that, and it normally doesn't end favorably for them. Well, you held that. This is one of those where, pinpoint accuracy. Do you go around it?
Stun around it, back to the middle of the table.
Beautiful.
Yeah. He's hitting him well, Robbie.
That was a great shot.
And Justyn's got to be really careful now that he doesn't let Robbie get too far ahead. And as well as these players are breaking, you may see a string of break and runs.
It'd be nice. Justyn's taking a little bit of a player break. But Robbie doesn't have to stop. So I don't know if he said go ahead and break and I'll be right back. Or if Robbie's going to take a break.
And Robbie's looking around and he's like, well, Justyn didn't say anything to me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they, no,
I just
I think
racked
they
him.
chatted.
Now I'm going to break. It looks like he was on the verge of breaking there.
Well, we'll throw this up for now. Unless Justyn comes back.
Time for some questionnaire answers.
Yeah, we've got Robbie on the right and Justyn on the left.
So the question is, what tip do you use? And Justyn says, how medium.
Ah.
And I've been putting on a lot of how tips recently, and I
Very
get a lot of good feedback. And unlike Kamui's, I get good feedback on the softs, the mediums, and the hards. People like them all. When it comes to Kamui's, nobody ever has a Kamui hard.
Well, what does Robbie use? I think Robbie actually
does
uses
Robbie
the
use?
tip that is, in my opinion, the runner-up, if not better.
Well, Predator Victory Medium is what he's using, which I
Boom.
guess matches his Predator Qs.
You know who else uses a Victory Medium?
Who's that?
Tyler Steyer.
Does he?
Yep.
Larry Neville, whenever anybody ever asked him to recommend a tip, he always said Predator Victory soft.
Yeah, but they're harder on the hardness chart. So a soft is actually kind of a medium, and a medium is a little harder. You know that hardness chart we all go by?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's definitely true of Kamui's. Kamui's are all harder than what you think, and Kamui mediums are pretty hard. Kamui hards, nobody ever asked me to put one on. There's
that's like a break tip.
There's no yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could think about breaking, but there's no purpose for it really, because you're going to do something else for a break tip.
So I figure if Tyler Steyer shoots with a Predator Victory Medium, and they're always in stock, they're always easy to get, I don't know. And he's been in the Moscone Cup, 3 or 4 times?
All right, Justin's back in the room.
But I'm not trying to knock how tips. I mean, I know everybody
People like them.
right?
People, we put them on, they
And
try
I've
them, and
never
then
tried
they come back to me and they say, "Oh, I love that tip."
Maybe
and
I
I've
should
heard that
try it.
on the mediums and the hards. I put a how hard on mine, and
There's
I
no
loved it.
issue getting them in stock anymore. Everything's back to normal.
Yep.
Cool. You heard it here first. If you want a how medium, actually someone when we were playing chess and that person who screwed up my focus and ultimately lost me that game wanted a how medium.
That's right. I've been putting a lot of them on.
New ferrule, new how medium tip, 2 shafts. You got your work cut out for you there. Does that automatically come with a shaft cleaning? Since you got to pretty much do the whole thing anyway?
For a new...
Yeah, when you're putting a ferrule on.
Oh, a new
and
ferrule
everything.
does, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be brand new when he gets those back.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, he had cracked ferrule. Nice shot there, Robbie. Make sure he didn't get too close to the top rail and hook himself on the 11 behind the 12.
So you want to give yourself an angle on this 12.
He's got a yet another really nice open table. Still no gimmies, really, because you've got such clutter. You've got windows, and you've got areas that you can hook yourself behind. So you really still have to plan it out. So just because you open them up good doesn't mean you're out. But you've definitely got a chance at it. This shot right here, if you didn't have this big cluster of solids in the middle of the table, it would be kind of automatic to get on the 10, but he does. So he's got to go one way or the other.
Beautiful stroke there. Little bottom right pulls it back out and around.
Yeah. If he likes this angle on the 10, he's gonna shoot the 10. The 9 ball does go in the same pocket as the 10, and he may end up just drifting over it right now.
Wow, look at that. Thread the needle.
All right, hit that too hard. He's okay.
I think he's okay on this one.
Yeah. It would have been simpler if he had ended up on the 9, but he's okay because he still has a shot on the 13.
Yeah, he's not happy. His face is turning pink again.
Yeah. He would have loved to, if you were straight on this 9 ball, it would be a done deal, wouldn't it?
Inside English brings it.
An inch further, and this would be fairly simple.
Right.
He's still really not too bad. He can roll this in. He's got to know whether he's going to... If you play this gentle rolling 9 ball, do you accidentally clip the 8 and mess things up?
I don't think so. I think
Or
you come out.
Do you have to go hit a little bit low, a little bit stun?
He's going to
If
come
you
out.
do that,
to
you got to be careful you hit it soft enough. He is digging down. I
don't like that.
He's
Yeah.
going around the houses. He doesn't think he can just play this soft.
I mean, maybe you end up near the C in cutthroat.
He's just mapped out 3 rail position.
Unbelievable. Uh-oh. Underhit it.
Yeah, that is not
The
good.
angle just wasn't there to come around. That is tricky. You know, and that's one of the things I remember Jerry Bryseth teaching me is go to the cone. going to the cone of the leave.
Yeah.
Obviously, Robbie's feeling it. He was crossing the leave on that 8-ball, and you'd have to have very, very accurate cue ball control to shoot that 8 in the upper right. There was really no way he can go into the cone from where he was.
No, I'm not into that cone thing at all. I prefer to go into the wedge.
Wedge is good too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't understand when I say cone, so maybe I should say wedge, like a cheese wedge.
Well, he got a good hit. That's all you can say.
And that's one thing you got to remember is that these guys are breaking great, but each player gets at least one chance at every table.
Yeah.
Minus the break and run that Robbie had earlier.
And Justyn is a really good player, and he really needs at this point now in this stage. He doesn't want to let Robbie get ahead, and so he's got another chance in this rack. I say another chance. The other chances weren't in this rack, but he's had chances. Needs to do something with it, and he's taken more time over his shots than Robbie. And in 8-ball, you've got to plan it out. You can't just shoot at the first thing you think of without understanding the bigger picture.
I'm telling you, that podcast with Fedor and Joe Rogan, I mean, it was unbelievable how important a pre-shot routine is to playing under pressure, and they explained exactly why.
Oh, I've got to go check that out. What do you listen to it on?
Spotify.
Oh.
It's free.
From there, I'd be thinking about going down for the 5, I think. No. Well, I probably should have now. He doesn't like this angle on the 3, I don't think. Oh, no, he's okay. He's straight. What am I talking about? He's absolutely fine. Just roll forward.
Yeah, I like that. Roll forward.
Got to make sure you don't miss your chance of getting on the 2 in the side, because, of course, it doesn't.
Well, that's kind of the thing here. Does he take the 2 or the 5 next? Well, that settles that.
That answers that question, yeah.
And this is probably the best way to play it.
Well,
based on what you were saying as well.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to drift past too much past straight on this 2 in the side, so that's why he hit that shot so soft.
Ooh, wow.
He hit that shot
so soft.
He was so concerned because there was too much angle on that 5 to make it. That shot had to be hit dead weight, otherwise the cue ball was just traveling too far.
So Mike B says, well, I guess that explains why I keep missing shots, trying to copy the shots on stream. They're all crooked.
Yeah, going back to the conversation about the
lens curve.
The curved lines, these straight lines on these tables are actually slightly curved. So he went for a super thin hit there, didn't hit it nearly
Not
thin,
happy
thin
about
enough.
that one.
Tough shot, that, isn't it?
But Mikey B actually throws out a compliment. Cannot shoot as straight as these guys ever. So great compliment by Mike.
I think I'd be tempted to shoot the 4 ball here, actually.
Well, if you miss, you're leaving Robbie a bank. I kind of like.
Yeah, and that's not exactly safe though, because Robbie does have a good chance of making his banks. But
so you're saying save the 5 for the key, the last ball before the 8, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's. If this shot goes well and he ends up nicely, the 4 ball goes in and he ends up nice on the 2, then the rack's over. But
it's a pressure shot, though. I mean, you really want to make this.
Yeah, and so if you're not feeling good, he definitely doesn't want to give up this rack.
But you don't want to try to get funky on the 4 and 3 rails back for the 8.
Obviously, you definitely could shoot the 5 now and get nicely on the 2. And then there's this awkwardness getting back down for the 8, isn't there? So that one shot solves it all, as long as you feel good about it. And he did. He's got to bear down and make this 2, which I do expect him to. There we go.
Beautiful. Just as you said.
Is this just a stop shot, or is he going to use the rail? Yeah, no, nicely played.
All right. Well, that brings us to Robbie 7, Justyn 4 in this race to 15. Pete Besta says, hi, guys.
Hello, Pete.
Riley Whetstone. I watched a stream on a 32-inch screen, and there's a slight bend in the long sides.
Yeah, on one of those big TVs, you can take a straight edge to it, couldn't you?
I don't know. I watch it on a 65 Sony Bravia with perfect color, and I don't see no bend.
I don't know. Now that he said that, it almost looked like it is. I was going to say, no, it's totally straight on our screen. But
Well, the right table
I
is a
don't
little
know.
crooked. It gets bumped after a week or two. You know.
So that was a good moment for Justyn. He's showing that he's definitely still in this game. He's breaking here.
Andrew says Predator is sponsored by Robbie. He definitely puts some fundage into it. Kendall says, I love mine. He's talking about the how tips.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Kendall did.
Kendall
switch
was
to the
using
house
that. And then I think he, went to a La Pro for a little while, then back to a how.
and then miscued on it and switched back.
That was the end of that. Daniel Herdina. What's up, Dan? Robbie, I'd never get a roll. Schmidt. Go, Robbie. No, he gets rolls now. Maybe
So-
not in this match.
So far, both players have been breaking well. And he just
Ooh.
gave it a little bit too much.
Off the table.
He was bouncing the cue ball in his previous breaks, but they were staying under control. And the worst result on a break.
Andrew says, I think he may have lost the rights to that nickname after last week, 2 weeks ago. The I never get a roll, Robbie.
There you go, taking the 11 ball first. Simplifying his position.
I mean, I remember that match. It's also on our channel if you want to watch it. I'm telling you, everything Robbie shot, the rolls were just going his way. That feels good when pool works with you and not against you. Riley says, is that an error on the 5? Yes, it is. So is scratching on the break. And Rhino says, good game. The Rhino, I think. If I'm correct. Junior player from Wisconsin. I don't see too many problems here. I mean, it seems like every time they break, it's usually a massive, perfect break, and there's always a table run available.
Yeah.
They got to capitalize.
That does seem to have been an available table run, and yeah, pretty much every rack so far.
Not a lot of clusters.
We haven't concluded a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
How many break and runs do we have?
Only one. And this won't even be one. Because Justyn broke and scratch.
Yeah. And so league rules, that would count as a table run, wouldn't it?
It would in league. But
And it is a table run, of course. Robbie's first attempt at the table runs all the balls.
it's not a break and run, though.
Right.
We simplified all the stats. Can you imagine trying to keep track of that one?
So the only awkward thing here, of course, is the 8 ball doesn't have any pocket. I think he's going to roll forward and play the 8 in the side now. And that was the thing about leaving the 9 ball tool last. It's not
Right.
really the best ball to get on the 8.
I mean, it looks like the 8 might go in the upper right if he stop shots it.
Past the 6, you're saying?
I think
Ooh,
so,
I don't
but
know
I
that.
mean, let's see what he
Oh,
wants to do.
Yeah, he agrees.
I
guess-
mean, it's only
look at
half
that.
a pocket.
What a great little shot. If that's true, he's got himself in the perfect spot to make this shot easier.
And if that's the case, I mean, obviously he was planning for that.
Very
In the hole.
confident control of his stop shot.
I wish I can give him a break and run, but I can't, Robbie. Apologize.
Well, he'll just settle for the rack, going 8-5 ahead.
8-5 ahead in this race to 15. We've got like spring weather out there. Have you been outside? It's like
No.
50, 45 degrees past couple days.
Lovely.
It really is. Robbie just did 2 break and runs. That wasn't a break and run, Curtis. Justyn broke that and scratched in the side.
Ooh. And that ball looked like it was just going to follow forward close to the side pocket, but saved by the 2 ball.
But if we are off by 1, let us know. It has to be a break and run, start to finish, to hit that stat.
And every single break, balls are going up table.
Just the
And-
8 ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's also random clusters reappearing. The original clusters of balls in the triangle, they're all gone. As a testament to how well these guys are breaking. But it didn't make a ball, so you really can't call it a good break. But
so Curtis is saying Robbie has 2 break-in runs. 100%.
Okay. Not counting that last one.
Not counting that last one, Curtis, right? He said no before that.
I'm sure he's right.
We're going to believe you on that one and give Robbie 2 so that we're not saying it wrong all night long.
We've just proved we can be talked into it.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about votes here.
So right from the get-go, the number one question is, what about the 8 ball? So he's chosen stripes. If it had a different angle on the 14, he could have been breaking it now.
What about the 8 ball? That's going to be a combo, huh?
It's got to be broken. Well, no. I mean, he could break it now with the 9.
Yes.
I kind of feel better to just shoot a stop shot on the 15 right now and leave yourself an angle on the 14 to
So you're saying leave that defensive shot when you just said you shouldn't leave those shots?
No, I'm saying find a way to break it. Get an angle on the 14 to...
but not now.
He doesn't have the right angle. Stop shot on the 15 if the cue ball was down by the 15.
Well, if he puts bottom left on this, it's going straight for the 8.
Yeah, on what? What shot?
From the 9.
Oh, 9, yeah. It's tough to see. Yeah, right. I mean, that break shot on the 9, yeah, he's going for it. He's just nudged the 6 ball over now.
Yeah.
He really should be asking Robbie, hey, do you want me to put that back?
Yeah, but no, let's just leave it.
The guilt caused him to miss that shot. The sheer guilt of it.
What was that, Justyn?
He's got to know that everybody saw that.
He knows he touched the 7.
It's not a foul.
It's not. It's not a foul.
Is it a foul not to ask your opponent? Because the reason he hit it, touched it.
If your opponent doesn't notice.
My general rule of thumb is always make him put it back unless there's any other reason not to.
Yes.
Because, guess why? It was in the way. The reason he touched it is because it was in the way. So, yes, I would have... If I was Robbie and if I'd been given the choice, which he should have been, I would have put it back.
Yeah, put it back. Get it in his way. Safety played by Robbie.
I wonder what the rules are. Does anybody know? Like, I mean, you're supposed to ask your opponent, right? What if you don't and then you just shoot?
It's up to your opponent to see
foul?
it. No, it's not a foul.
He's like...
It's not specified in the BCAPL rule.
So
that's what we're going off of
here.
You
could have just adopted a position where you never ask your opponent, you just keep shooting.
If you bump a ball... It's up to your opponent to say something.
Sure.
But what if it's up to them to put it back where they thought it was.
Oh, you mean he had to yell out like it was, similar to a foul?
I mean, most players say, hey, buddy, I bumped it. Do you want me to put it back? And that's wrong, too. You should never touch the ball twice. Robbie would have had to come to the table, put the 7 where he thought it was, and then Justyn continue shooting.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an error. Not in this rule set, BCAPL, which is the updated BCA rules that CSI maintains. Curtis says no. Before that, since I've been watching, he had 2 in a row.
Okay. I believe him, B.
Lost Justyn's break and win. He says, my kids are watching with me. Hey, Curtis's kids. Get some popcorn and snacks and enjoy the show. And I told my 9-year-old as he did it, and that was nice. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
So Justyn's chances to break this 8 ball out
still a problem.
Are becoming less. He's got the 9 ball there, but of course it's not at the table. So Robbie's chances to break this out.
5 ball.
What? I was thinking the 1 ball. If you can get an angle on the 1 in the side.
I mean, this is one of those rules where do you go for the breakup every shot until you get it? Or do you plan it out perfectly and hope it works?
Well, if you can see one particular shot that's just better, like this shot on the 1 that he's just given himself. No, it's a little bit too much angle, doesn't he? Because the stun, when you shoot the 1 in the side pocket, the stun angle with the tangent line goes right towards the 8.
I think he's got to just go through this. 4 to the 3.
You definitely don't want to leave it too late.
I know, but he's kind of in the position now where he has to make everything at the top of the table, or the bottom of the table in this case.
Boy, that's...
If
you get out and hit it perfect, everybody's like, yeah, that's great. And if you miss, you ran yourself into trouble, and people will say you didn't play it smart.
Yeah, I would have actually taken the 4.
I don't like
before
running his
the
balls
5.
because when he plays that breakout shot, he needs to
Beautiful.
still be on a ball, and
This is it.
you'd like to have a lot of balls on the table.
He can use the 2 though, right?
If the 9 wasn't there, you could break it right now with this 3. So this angle on the 1 ball, surely he's trying to get an angle on the 1 ball. No. All
I
right,
think he
is.
trusts.
He's going to leave it till his last shot. So
Right.
he's going to use the 1, break the 8, and get position on the 8.
Yeah, that's tricky.
And if it turns out perfect, that'd be just lovely. But it seems that if you played that shot earlier in the rack, there's a lot of other solids that you could have landed on as position for your next ball.
Now here's a question for you, MH.
He's got himself the angle, so...
Is this a break and run for Robbie if he does this?
Did he break?
He did. But I don't know if Justyn got up at the table.
No, Justyn did. Justyn had chances.
He did. Yes, he did. He was shooting at the stripes earlier. Okay. Thank you. Man, it's so tough to sometimes keep track of this.
Justyn could have... There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's why you don't want to leave it. He's got to bank this now.
I mean, you're taking a chance there, but that could have gone so well.
It's really close to the rail here, so I don't know. He's got to pump...
This is tricky.
He's got to punch this in to make sure he doesn't double kiss it.
Oh, but I don't think this can be considered a sellout.
I mean,
it is an error.
I liked his breakout shot, but I'd love it to have been second shot in the rack,
Right.
Or so instead of last shot.
I was thinking first.
If it was on it first.
But it goes back to that, do you leave some defense? Do you, and now that you're
just
saying,
having more balls left on the table is
defense enough?
partially defensive.
Right.
At least gives you options for defense.
So
Robbie's just got to hope now.
Does that go off the 8 in any way?
I think so. I think he clipped the rail first and then off the 8. The 10 ball.
That might be what Justin's working for. He can also play a safe and let Robbie kick at it.
Well, you're going to try not to do that if you've got other options. Why? Because Robbie can kick it in.
He can. But a lot can go wrong, too. You can hit the 12 first. You could scratch. I'm not saying it's the right choice. But if you can't make the 12, I think safing him and blocking the easy kick is a great option.
I think he's on the 11 in the side, and he can use that to get on that shot. I think he needs to be bold here and just get out.
Yeah.
Getting out is
with you.
Getting out is way safer than the safety.
Yes. Well, and you can't leave the easy kick. I got to reiterate that. You don't want to leave just a basic kick. You got to block it.
Yeah. And so if you're going to do that, you need to be really tight on a ball.
It would have had to happen 2 shots ago.
Yeah, and more balls on the table.
Right. Yeah, it is Sam Rhino. That's what I thought. Thanks, Dan. Sam Rhino, a junior from the Quad Cities. East Moline. Heck of a player. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for filling us in on that. I've seen him here playing in the Queued Up Tour a couple of times. Excellent player. That's Sam Rhino.
So he's being studious over this, Justyn. Trying to decide where he wants to be to best make this 12 off the 8 and how to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tricky.
You kind of want to be close to the side rail on the right-hand side of the screen, as it were, because then the natural sort of dragging throw helps that ball as it glances off the side rail. He's playing safe. He just called a safety.
Would you look at that? Just don't scratch. Ooh, that was close.
And he has left a shot which will make the highlight tape if it goes in.
See, but look where the middle of the table is. It's right where the side pocket is. So he kind of took out the easy kick.
With the side pocket. If that's
Right.
true, that is quite clever. But
and putting left on this is going to make it hard.
I think you can hit it soft with just with roll, and it bends forward a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, this will be an amazing shot.
There you go. It makes it look simple. I could see the line of the shot from the commentary box here.
Beautiful.
When he came off the rail there, it was absolutely dead perfect.
Unbelievable shot.
That's why you don't want to play safe.
Well, you definitely
In
would
that
have
situation.
to block the easy kick. I
Yeah.
did say that.
You did.
Because you don't want to just naturally allow them to roll that. You know, a player gets nervous. They got to put left or right on a kick shot. You never know where it's going to go.
Right, I think that was just a plain. You had to hit it soft and rolling. And that was just quite natural.
We'll watch this break and then hit that replay real quick. Not a dry break.
And after you see the shot that Robbie played on the 8 there, it looks easy, doesn't it?
Wow, just rolls it in. Unbelievable.
I mean, Justyn maybe just didn't like the idea of playing that 10.
I mean, I really didn't know if the 12 went past the 8. And that was the 12, right?
I may be wrong, but I just felt that if you could just shoot that ball to just miss the 8,
Rail
it would
first.
catch the rail,
Yeah.
and then go off the backside of the 8.
Riley
But
says,
you
nice
can't
shot.
Can't tell from here. Justyn had a better look at it.
I really do think he should have played that safe earlier, and it would have had to be like a lock-up safe.
Yeah.
Freeze him up to the back of a ball where he can't get anywhere over there. Then you've got something.
Yeah, if you're going to play that safe, do it right off the bat.
Right.
More balls on the table.
Pete Besta says, nice shot, Robbie. How you doing, Pete? Hope your holidays are going well. Haven't seen you for a while. We got a lot of players here today. Was that Wes Borchardt? Craig? We got Fong running the tournament.
He needs to be not frozen behind this 15.
Yeah, he's not happy about this one. Joshua Sheffer. Woot woot. You can do it, Justyn.
So he looks like he can get through to the 5 ball here. Wow. What a great shot.
Unbelievable. Drills it.
He ended up pretty straight on this 3 ball, which begs the question, how do you get on the 6? Do you just draw back a little bit and bank the 6?
Well, you know, I've seen Robbie use inside English.
Yeah, you follow forward.
He can do it.
Yeah, look, he's lining up the bank.
He likes the bank.
The follow shot, although there is a way to go through there and get straight on the 6 pretty much, you're risking hooking yourself.
Ooh.
And he got on the bank.
Hit a couple diamonds before the pocket. These tight pockets, brand new diamonds.
Yep.
If you haven't heard it, Matt Apple got brand new diamonds right from Diamond, delivered by John, fresh from the factory. He spent 45 minutes leveling, balancing, setting each and every one of these tables up.
Yeah, using the little wedges that come inside diamonds, and often, you know. And I asked him if it's a one-piece slate. We've got leg levelers.
Ooh, no.
And that, wow. And
How's that?
And that slate is milled to be as flat as they can.
Right.
Why would we need wedges? And he said, well, nothing's perfect.
Wedges versus cones. For sure. So the fact is that having John from Diamonds set up the multi-leveling system means that never really needs to be done again. I mean, would that be a fair assessment, other than just having to adjust the legs once in a while?
I don't know. Like he says, nothing's perfect.
That's true. I'm not betting the farm on that. But these tables play great. Simonis cloth.
Yeah, we're talking about tiny, tiny effects, but, you know, does it sag and change over time? John kind of implied that just bouncing around in the vehicle on the way might change the slates.
Right. Yeah, cold, hot. I mean, it was cold that day. Bringing it in with the snow. It was a fun weekend. Glad I could see that. Robbie wasting no time on this. Getting another attempt.
Yeah, Justyn really... I know Justyn plays really well, and he's... I'm sure he's not happy with his performance so far.
No, he's letting a few games slide.
This match is not over yet.
No.
It's 10-5 and a race to 15. So Robbie's got twice as many games. He's 2/3 of the way to his target. And Justyn needs a sort of a change of momentum here.
As we watch Justyn jump over the fence, jump over the bleachers, roll his way out of the door. And there's Patrick Glynn. For those that don't know, he pretty much runs the Sundays.
He timed that perfectly. He was waiting there just for you to cut to that view.
He's like, I'm gonna roll through. Heck of a tournament we got going on. Maybe we can go through a couple more questions after I go through some of these sponsors. So might as well thank Billet Spin EDC, JP Shower Custom Cues out of Green Bay, Mad Apple Burger and Billiard, and the Pro Shop, which is run by MH, who's sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Cue It Up Podcast, Nate Mindom. Cutthroat Q Sports, Erickson Auto Trim, The Clarion.
And what a busy day we had in the Pro Shop today. Non-stop it was, people coming in.
Non-stop. It's that weekend. People are looking to get their stuff fixed up.
A lot of things.
Because once...
A lot of queue work.
Well, right. Once New Year's ends, isn't it pretty much like pool time?
I guess so.
Hunting's done. The holidays are done.
That's
you
right.
play pool for the next 5 months.
Yeah.
Billiards, Wisconsin Billiards Hall of Fame, John Kramer, Christensen, Heating and Cooling, Papa Lock, Brownies, Carpet and Upholstery. Want to thank all of our sponsors for helping out. For those that don't know, any kind of ad revenue or proceeds or super chats or in-person donations all benefit the Juniors program. And I am happy to say that the Juniors program that runs on Sundays is now free for the juniors because of this stream. They no longer have to pay greens fees.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's one way that this stream is helping the juniors program, and that's here every Sunday. Bring your junior and get involved. You don't even have to wait for a sign-up date. Just show up, Sunday around 10, 11 a.m. You get a lesson for your junior player, and if you listen, you could probably get a few tips for yourself. And then they play a round robin. So we don't have to worry about scheduled matches between players like most leagues. Whoever's here is just entered into the round robin. And all of that is, benefited from this stream. So gives me a purpose to come here and have some fun with everybody. I want to thank everybody who's here and helping us out. We got 131 viewers, and we appreciate each and one of you. Hope you're having a happy holiday. Andrew Stumbras with $10. Oh, that's kind of a cool view to watch that cue ball go flying off the table there. Andrew says, can't make Sunday this week, so here's my juniors fee. Andrew, thank you very much. Andrew brings his son here, and he donates more than most. And we do appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you very much.
So Robbie giving that one a little bit too much, losing the cue ball off the table. He was made to wait, and that's tough, isn't it, psychologically? He wanted a break, and Justyn took a little break. Is there a limit to how many breaks you can take?
I mean,
what are the rules here?
There's no hard rule, but we do tell him to not take any unnecessary breaks. Because it's hard for TV. I mean, it gave me a chance to go through the sponsors and the juniors program and all that. But if they take another break and another break, I'm going to run out of things to talk about here. Yeah. So, hopefully that's the last break.
So, question here for Justyn. What's your first ball?
Well, he's got ball in hand. So what would you take?
Solids or stripes? Well, I don't really like the way that the 11 and the 9 are. Question number one, if you want to go through the list of potential questions, first question is, what about the 8 ball?
Right.
Does it go anywhere? Does solids have to break it? Which group controls the 8? Doesn't really. Well, it does. I mean, you've got side pocket. It's
I
not
mean, the
very
11-9, the 1-5,
nice.
the 14-12-2. The list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, in solids, obviously has a problem with the 2 ball, so with ball in hand, you'd have to take the 2 first, probably.
And you can split
That's
that.
not very nice, though, is it? I might be tempted with ball in hand to play the 12 ball into that corner that's further away from it and send the cue ball and nudge those 11, 9, 8 ball cluster.
I think he's taking a page out of your book, but he's going into the 1-5.
Well, the problem with that is ultimately the 8 ball. You know, I don't think the 8 ball is really very nice anywhere for solids.
Yeah, but that worked nice. I mean, it's not the end.
It looks nice, doesn't it? But it doesn't. Well, okay, with this angle on the 1, you could solve it now. And I think he's got to be thinking about the 8 here, and this would be the perfect time. Just pop this 1 ball in and play a delicate little tap on the 8. Just a fraction. You have to move it just almost nothing, and it'll clear the.
Move the 8 a little to the left,
and you've got the 4 ball in the side. Then you start thinking about which shot to transition up to the 2, which is your next problem. But the 2 is. It's definitely possible to get on the 2 without doing something now.
Well, you could take the 4 and break up the 2.
The 8 ball comes back. You know, it doesn't run out.
I mean, that's what he's looking at.
I'm not as worried about the 2 as I am the 8.
Right. Oh no, that was a chance. Ball in hand goes right back to Robbie after breaking and throwing the cue ball off the table, so it allowed Justyn to make a couple balls.
Robbie's going to play the 11 ball.
I mean, the 14 or the 11. One of those 2 has to go.
Yeah. I think you've got to deal with the 11 and 9 and 8 ball first. I don't know why he doesn't shoot the 11 into the corner pocket past the 7 and tap the 8.
Yeah, you really want that 8 to be tapped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as worried about the 14 because you've got all those stripes up table. There's definitely ways to deal with that and get on it or what have you, but I don't know, Robbie. Why don't you just shoot the 11 in the corner?
Riley said, anyone else have a cane that turns into a pool stick? I'm assuming Riley does.
I think we've got one in the pro shop, yeah.
Do you?
One of those old, yeah, and they all look the same. They have.
How much are they?
Not much. Reasonable. I mean, pre-owned.
I might have to take a look at that.
They have that Polynesian carving on them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to see that. That one might be mine.
Riley, does yours have Polynesian carving on it?
Polynesian. Andrew says, we need more sponsor commercials. Yeah. The problem we had the P-Shower commercial, but every time we played it, we got hit with a copy strike because they used music that is not free to use.
So Robbie has dealt with those 2 balls down there and opened up the 8. He's left himself. Oh, he's okay. He's on the 13.
So
that was the major problem. We still do have an issue with the 14. You've got to
14.
figure out how you're doing it.
I think
with
he
the right
wanted
angle
the
on one of these
bank.
balls, you'll be okay, but you've got to get the right angle.
So do you think he's going to bank the 14
No.
into the bottom left?
I think he's going to use the 10 ball to get behind the 14.
I like that. I like that. Man, I didn't even see that. And now he's in a perfect position to kind of shove that out of the way or come out behind it. I'm telling you, I'm learning something today. I'm taking notes. Robbie's putting on a clinic.
There you go. Hit that well. Beautiful speed.
You can't hit that any better.
Yeah.
Now, do you get straight on this 12 so you can roll up on the 8, upper right?
I think so. I mean, this might just be a stop shot on the 14. He looks like he's going to draw.
I mean, that was a risk, right?
He's
He's not happy.
He's okay.
He's fine, but he's not happy.
I think you could have just played a simple stop shot on that 14 and had just a slightly straighter version of this same shot.
Ah, there we go. It worked out real nice for Robbie.
He's got to bear down and make this.
Vape Master says he has a pool stick. That's a cane stick.
Yeah, I've had several of them come through the pro shop, and they come with screw-in tips. And so usually what I do with those is I throw those away and put glue in the hole and
put a real ferrule
put a
on
real
it.
tip on,
Right.
and then give it a good old shaft cleaning and get the whatever they put on those shafts off, and then you end up with a really nice cue. And the interesting thing is the bud, of course, is hollow, but the weighting, it's sort of approximately right because you've got this big brass fitting
At the end. Yeah.
which is on average it's sort of about the right weight. It's still a bit strangely balanced, but close. And it is awesome, isn't it, to be able to walk into a place with just one
I think that's pretty cool.
cane.
I know. I'm getting to the age where I just want cool stuff. Rolling Star says, getting there, queue work done before the Oshkosh Open. Probably talking about why you're so busy. That is true. The Oshkosh Open is coming up in 1 week. 1 week.
Yeah.
And then we got Dings. Let's not forget Dings tournament here at the Mad Apple on the 14th.
Yep.
Blind
Scotch doubles.
draw.
Is it Scotch?
Blind draw, Scotch doubles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you show up and it's a high-low. The high players get matched up with lower players, Fargo-wise.
Which is an interesting idea, really, isn't it?
Keeps it fair. Because otherwise, if you get two 600s together, it's like, well, we know who's got first.
When they were explaining that to me, I said, well, so the very highest rated player goes with the very lowest rated player
No.
and pair them up, but they're not going to do that.
No, it's still a draw.
Because otherwise people start trying to calculate it before the fact.
Right. And I guess there's going to be two Calcuttas. One before the draw and one after.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Which is really weird, isn't it?
It is. It's something John came up with. And I think it's going to work.
So
We'll see.
everybody, you can buy a player not knowing who his partner is.
Right. So, like, Ray Skinador will probably be playing. So he'd be a good buy, right? If John's playing, he'd be a good buy. And then if either one of those players gets matched up with someone in the middle, they're probably going to win.
Well, I don't know.
Probably.
I mean,
I said probably.
Scotch doubles, it's like it's the weakest link in the chain, isn't it? If you miss every shot, your partner can't win.
Well, a 650 with like a 520 or whatever the cutoff is, that's going to be a good team.
But there's no lower cutoff, is there?
Oh, they're just going to take all the players, find the middle, and split them.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So we don't know what the cutoff is yet. It's kind of like how a lot of the tournaments are run.
Meanwhile, Robbie is storming ahead here.
He is.
He's found his mojo.
This will be a break and run. That's like a question. Oh, he took a chance on that one.
He's not out yet. He's still on the 12.
I feel like, as good as Robbie is, he takes those chances, and that's why he doesn't get good rolls.
Now, although he may have a direct line at the 12 ball here, you kind of think you have to go rail first just to get the cue ball out of there. There's a window.
Yeah, you got to
If he
get
goes
out
rail
of there.
first. If you don't go rail first, it's kind of tough to imagine how you're going to get out. There you go, rail first, through the window, around the angles,
Man.
and he needs a Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Patrick Glenn says, let's hear some challengers for the King of the Hill. He put a link out there. It's a safe link. It's a Google form. If you're a player of this caliber and would like to challenge these players, you also have to be willing to play week after week. So, a lot of these people drive an hour or two. Keep that in mind. There is a hotel. You get a hotel room and a gift basket. So, travel and all that's not an issue as far as finding a place to stay.
Yeah, and although these players are playing well and Robbie's playing well, they are still both given chances.
They are. Every game except for 2.
So there's got to be a lot of good players out there who are looking at this thinking, you know what? I just want to do this. Give it a chance.
Riley's Cane Q is 40 years old. And Rhino says, I give these guys a lot of credit. Yeah, I mean, they're putting themselves out there. And I got to say, our viewers are, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, very polite. Nobody's saying anything rude when someone misses a shot. Very rare on pool streams, and I do appreciate it, everyone. someone misses a shot or gets a little off. I mean, it's so easy to sit in your chair and be like, why did he do that? Until you put yourself in that position and your nerves are going.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully I don't come across too critical because...
Oh, no. Definitely not.
I'm not saying I'd do any better. I'm probably a lot worse.
You had a chance. Did you play in the Knights?
Well, I was playing in the Knights, yes.
And you won, 3 or 4 weeks in a row?
About 5 or 6.
Yeah, you did well. You did very well. We were rooting for you.
And I lost the match that I thought I was going to win.
You did because of a Brewers game the day before, if I remember correctly.
Did I get drunk?
I don't know. It's not my place to keep track of.
I'm not blaming on anything.
But I will say...
But my name is back on the list. I'm looking forward to getting back on the table again.
Yeah, you should be coming up there shortly. I know the Knights list is a little shorter. Not a lot. And then the Jesters list goes for a year. But we definitely need 600, 650s, people that want to bet, maybe even over the minimum.
Well, he was going to get down and shoot that 6, and he just stopped himself. Kind of a weird angle on this one, too.
It is. And he chose to go top right.
It.
And I might have gone 2 rails out and around.
So he's left himself this shot.
This is one of those shots.
Got to make this.
Yeah, you got to make it. And, that's what's going through his head. I wouldn't doubt that he gets up on this shot, maybe walks around a table.
Just got to imagine it going in. Know what it looks like to go in so you know that you're on that right line. There it is.
In the hole.
Straight in the middle of the hole.
That's the way to do it. Bringing it closer. Robbie 11, Justyn 6 in this race to 15. Pete says sometimes Robbie goes for the gusto. Can't blame him for that. Yeah, but the gusto gets you in trouble.
Well, yeah, but if you get it and make it, you sure feel good, and you
do.
You feel that you're in your mojo.
It's more fun,
and you kind of want to get into that zone, don't you?
We all want to play like Efren.
These tentative players that know that it's simpler to just roll the ball in plain. Right. I don't know. Does that limit you if you play that way your whole life?
I don't think so. I mean, you're talking bar boxes that have new cloth, and they've just been leveled by professionals. I mean, you can play this game by rolling balls in. I mean, just saying, yeah. And sometimes when I get out there and I overhit something thinking, I'm just going to stroke this in like Sky Woodward. Well, then later someone comes up to me after the tournament, and I'm done. They're like, why didn't you just roll forward and shoot the 8 in the side or something? I'm like, I don't know why I didn't at the time.
Both Justyn and Robbie have scratched or lost the cue ball relatively recently in this match. Justyn really needs a good break, and we know he's been breaking well for a lot of the racks. The cue ball is safe. He's made a ball.
I don't see too many problems. Well,
there's nothing automatic here.
Yeah. 3 ball is a little tricky.
If he manages to break and run a couple of racks, he can find himself back in the heart of this game. This match.
This is a tough one. I don't know what my starter shot would be.
I kind of feel just roll that 10 ball in and nudge the 3 ball to the side rail and just let the 3 ball stay out of the way of those other stripes.
Because the 9 goes. Let's see if
the 8 ball goes, so that's not a question. That's not a determining factor. You don't really have a good starter on solids. And if you can just gently roll that 10 ball in and a little tap on the 3.
Hit it a little harder.
Sometimes you're spoilt for choice and you don't you never make a final absolute decision.
It's like a 50-50.
You shoot
Yeah.
without fully
What do you call that? There's got to be a word for that.
Yeah.
You don't make the decisions.
You do need a word
Your
for that.
brain kind of goes in the middle. It happens so much in pool.
It's like sport for choice, and you're still thinking, well, there's probably other ways I could do this, but I'll just go for this one.
And you're probably thinking, man, I'm thinking about this too long. You're rushing yourself a little bit. Next thing you know, you just blip it out like that. Philip says, how low do you need to get in the Knights? That's $5.99 Fargo, established, or below. And then the Jesters is $4.99 and under.
So where's the 8 ball going to go? Open, but the 3 balls. Well, no, the 3 balls. Does the 3 ball go past the 10?
I would have to say yes. How tight that 10 ball is on the rail.
Does the 1 ball go past the 12 in the side?
Yeah, that's the question. That is the question.
I think it does. You could play the 7 and get right on the 1 right now.
See, we can take a look at the overhead.
Oh, no, it definitely doesn't. Wow, that's weird, isn't it? How that looks so different.
Well, that's why, I try to use the right side overhead for those kind of judgments, but like...
And our discussion of curved straight lines.
Correct.
Means we're still not sure. No, it doesn't go, does it? Does it? That's actually a better angle to see, doesn't it?
It kind of looks like it goes there, though, right? So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it would be a shot you'd play really soft, but you don't have to play it in that pocket.
I mean, Robbie's got a plan. And if the cue ball gives him what he wants.
He's got to play really good position here. He's going to run out of plan Bs otherwise.
Oh, Philip says it's indecisive. That is a good word for it. Indecisive brain. For that 50-50 shot.
It's an indecisive decision.
It is.
That's absolutely perfect.
It works out.
That shot was really good.
Crossing the wedge.
He's given himself a really, really good chance now.
Yeah.
He's lovely on the 3 ball, and I think he can just stay close to there.
I mean, you just roll up on this unless you go down
He
rail.
wants to take the 1 ball out first. Nothing wrong with that.
Nice angle on the 3.
Just roll it in. Well, he's picked those off well. I mean, he's shown you that he's still thinking clearly. And yes, Robbie, you are an 8-ball player.
Definitely. He plays a lot of 8-ball leagues. I would never say Robbie's not an 8-ball player. That is for sure. Interesting that he did hit a couple of soft shots there. So for those people out there that were questioning his ability to ever hit a soft shot, you saw it on the 3 ball.
Yeah. And yet again, in this match, he's got twice as many racks as Justyn. So that's been the case at several spots. And, of course, getting ever closer to that 15. And I'm still not writing Justyn off because I know how good he plays. He hasn't really demonstrated much of it today. We haven't seen a lot of him.
And that break is just kicking.
But I do know that Justyn is capable of breaking and running a few if things go right. He's got another chance right here. He needs to dig himself.
So that was the 3rd dry break that we have. And all 3 came from Robbie. Also keeping in mind he's broke twice as much.
Yeah. And it's another rack which is semi-open but kind of slightly awkward. Another thinker.
Riley says, all I want is peace of mind.
Playing a combination on the 12. Oh, no, straight on the 12.
Peace of mind's good, but you also have to make a decision. And every good pool player over 600 should know by now, if you're down on a shot and you're still trying to make your mind up, you got to get back up, walk around the table.
Yep. You got to decide it while you're standing up and looking at it. And it's just a simple case of getting down on that line that you already seen. You can't get there once you're down.
Did you know that depending on which hand you shoot with, there's a certain way you have to walk around the table when you're analyzing?
You know, I heard someone mention that recently, and I'm not really convinced.
It came from a pro.
State that thing. State it again. So what's?
Okay, so if you're right-handed, you shoot with the stick in your right hand.
Yep.
You're supposed to walk around the table clockwise.
Why?
Left. I don't know why.
Right. Who said it?
Well,
it almost sounds like it makes sense, but
so Ray told me this when we were Scotch doubles, and I was the blind draw, and we won that tournament, but it was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was brutal. Every step of the way, I was not thinking right, shooting the wrong shot, getting questioned, and but I was getting a boot camp lesson, right? It was like, hey, you should walk around the table.
So that was one of Ray's.
Yeah, well, it came from one of Ray's training sessions, and if anybody who knows Ray, he's gotten tons of training from 700 plus players, and that was one of the tips. Is that I'm right-handed, so I shouldn't be walking around the table leading with my cue. I should be walking the other way. I don't know why, though. I really don't know why.
Yeah,
it's tough. I know I'm throwing that bombshell out there with no reason.
You're right. It sounds like it almost makes sense, but so does astrology. And I need to be totally convinced. You've got to tell me why.
I know. I can't. But I'll tell you one thing. It worked when I started going left around the table.
Really?
Because I'm right-handed, so I went clockwise. If you're left-handed, you should go.
You don't lead in the direction of your cue.
Correct. Like your what are those band members at the front of the parade leading with your stick? You got to go the other way.
Huh.
And I feel that's tough for me to do.
I feel as long as you don't slide into your shot sideways and you go stand in line with the shot as if it didn't matter which direction you came from.
Sure, but I mean, Shane Van Boening, one of the best players in the world, if not top 3, he slides. He brings his cue into the shot.
Well, the
sideways.
cue, but not the head, not his head.
No, he's set. He's set.
Okay, yeah. So that the cue coming sideways is just you sort of twisting in.
Okay, so don't walk in while you're getting out. Plant.
You kind of stand behind the shot, and your head's on the line of the
Correct.
shot while you're visualizing it, and then you just.
Well, so walking around the tables before you get down on the shot. So it's part of the pre-shot routine.
I can't see why it would matter.
You walk the opposite
I
way.
don't know. It might be wrong.
One table before every shot. You analyze the table. You pick your shot. And then you aim and you do your pre-shot routine and you get down on your shot.
Well, I like it. I like the idea. It's intriguing. And if anybody out there can just throw me a bone and give me a potential possible reason.
You know what
why.
I'll do? I'll ask Ray.
There you go.
If he'll give me a straight answer, probably not. It's tough getting a straight answer from
Every
that guy.
cue is a compass.
Yeah, you have to go north. And if you're on the other side of the hemisphere, you go south. I don't know. I'm going to find out for everybody, though. But I will tell you this. It made me think. It changed. It took me out of the normal.
I've never thought of that before.
Because I always walked right. I'd lead with my cue. It's more comfortable. When I go the other way, I feel like my cue's being left behind. And it's hitting the back of my foot when I'm walking. It doesn't feel right at all. That's all I can say about it.
That's interesting. I'll pay attention to that because I've never really ever thought about it. I wouldn't know which way I go.
You probably go either or depending on where the shot is. And I asked him that. I'm like, okay, if I have ball in hand on the 8-ball, do I really need to walk around the table? He's like, yes.
What if it's longer that way? I mean, the next shot's shorter this way. You just naturally go the shorter route.
That's what I would think.
What's Robbie doing here? So he's
cleaning house.
He's walking backwards and forwards, round and round.
I think he just kind of does the normal. He looks at the angles, keeps it short. But Ray, if we ever get Ray back on this show, you'll see.
The real test would see if, without mentioning it beforehand, see if Ray actually does it.
Yes. That'd be awesome, actually.
Now, meanwhile, while we're blabbing away like crazy idiots.
It's all right. It's an interesting topic.
And the overhead view tells us that 2-ball doesn't really have pockets. Which is strange because the other view doesn't say that. What's he doing?
Yeah, I think the
He's
2
shooting
goes in
the 2
the
straight
corner.
in. 2 does have a pocket.
Ooh.
So that overhead view. With
Do you
its
take the 7 now?
lines.
Even though you feel like, man, I got on the 3 perfectly?
Yeah, I think I like the 7 better, and just kind of draw back to the same kind of spot that he's in.
That's the beauty of 8 ball. Sometimes the balls develop, and you change your plan.
Yeah, that's all right. It's one of these angles where he's going to follow off the side rail, and he's not really going to get close to the 5. He's going to concede another sort of...
Ooh.
Oh, he played that with inside spin, didn't he? Because the natural angle would have he would have been much steeper on this 5.
Are you just punching this out?
Stunning, yeah.
Yeah.
Or drawing 2 rails and ending up traveling down the line of the next shot. Or 1 rail. Just fine.
So Mike B says, with the 50-50 shot, if you make it, you will take it. If you don't make it, you'll wish you never took it. We all lose sleep for the ones missed and wish never taken. Beautifully written. That should be on like a pool wall somewhere on a poster.
Someone should scribble it on the bathroom wall.
Yeah, with a Sharpie. So Riley Whetstone says, maybe you just walk. You don't know if you have your best shot. And that is part of the key. So that's what he was trying to teach me, is walking around the table. Now, I don't know why the direction mattered, but walking around the table, in 8 ball especially, right? Because rotation, you know what you got to do for the most part. You see all the angles. You see all the balls. You see what goes in what pockets. And I guess it's just helps your brain.
Another thing to think about, which
it is.
May not have much of a benefit and distract you.
Oh.
Well, for the Justyn Campion fans out there,
it's getting rough.
They sigh a sigh of relief, because Robbie is really kind of finding his mojo, and he's keeping Justyn out of this match mostly.
Let me ask this. Was that last rack a break and run? Because I am not keeping track anymore. I'm putting you on the spot, MH.
Are you asking me?
I
am.
am.
You asking me?
I could ask the crowd.
There you go. The smart ones.
Robbie broke. And I believe he ran through that while we were talking about the counterclockwise, rotation whole thing.
See what I'm saying? That whole thing just distracts you from what's important.
It does. It does. But it's an interesting topic.
I don't know if I want to be thinking about it when I'm playing pool.
You know, if someone comes back in like 6 months and they're like, man, you revolutionized my game by making me walk around the table clockwise.
I'm all ears. I'm going to keep my ears open.
Yeah.
So here Justyn's picking his first shot. He wants to break the 8.
Thank you, Jeremy.
First question in a rack of 8 ball, what about the 8?
What about it?
And the answer is, it doesn't go for either group, but with ball in hand, you solve it right now.
I like that he's still going strong, right? He's not worried about any kind of defense. He's going for the breakup.
He's got to go for it. He's got to find his mojo, because I know Justyn can play.
Oh, that gave him a lot of options.
It's only in situations like this that you have a chance for an amazing comeback.
That you do.
He's more thoughtful and studious. He's taken more time to study it out, but sometimes at this stage in the rack, you kind of have to match. You got to let yourself go.
Oh no! Rattled the 7. Rattled the 7. That's an unforced error for Justyn.
Yeah.
I commend him for going for it. You know, a lot of players would start playing a little slower, not breaking up balls, hoping for another chance at the table.
You don't really get any brownie points for going for them missing, but another chance.
There you go.
Caught a little snick on that 8 ball.
Justyn with ball in hand. I think you got to get out here. What are you taking first? The 5?
It's a good question. The order of the 2 and the 6
Right.
is
I kind of like taking the 5, sliding over for the 2.
almost because the 5 ball, I think, goes past the 15 in the side. You could shoot the 6 the long way first.
Okay.
Use the 2 to get on the 5 and play a stop shot and stay on the 7.
Okay.
I don't know if I really like that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not shooting.
I'm not
any
100%
long.
convinced, but there you go. Just a stop shot here and get on the 7. Or maybe better to draw back and give yourself a better angle.
Well, I think he's sliding over for the 2. Then the 7 come out. I mean, this is just.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible.
The 2's got to go before the 6.
Right.
Okay.
And you know what?
Yeah,
If that would have landed any perfecter, maybe even shoot the 3 as a stop shot. I mean, he gave himself some
Get
options.
one of those balls out there, so he needs to be on the 7 here. And I think he's got straight enough. It's not straight, but straight enough that he might be able to draw and get around the 10 rather than staying up this
These
end
are
of the table.
tough shots for me. Sometimes I overdraw them.
Little soft draw shot. Oh, that's turned out really good.
Yeah, you know, that worked out better than I would have planned.
Well, me too, and he probably played it like that.
Yeah, he definitely did. It's a good shot, Justyn. So this could be 3, 1, 6. Oh, okay. He's tricking me every way. I couldn't see the angle. Can I blame the lens, the curved lens? I think I will.
No, we've used that one too much already.
But, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
Jeff Smith.
Yes, sir.
Good English name, Smith.
Great name.
The most common name in England.
Mr. Smith. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for the subscription. We do appreciate it. It's free. And you'll get notifications if you hit the bell. We go live on Fridays and Sundays, and every once in a while we get a max action challenge match, which is like 1,000 in the middle or more.
Yeah.
We try to keep it exciting.
Now, Robbie's last name, Schmidt, the most common name in Germany. And do you know what Schmidt means when translated into English?
No.
Smith.
Oh, there you go.
As in blacksmith. Which obviously, back in the day, every village had a blacksmith. That's why it's so popular, common.
Well, you had to have at least one. Let's take a look at the stats, MH. What do we got? Justyn with 12 unforced errors, 13 on Robbie's side. Dry breaks, 3 for Robbie. Keep in mind, Robbie's been breaking 2 to 1.
Yep.
Break and runs, Robbie has 2 to our knowledge. Safeties played. You know, we started off slow. Then there was a few matches in the middle where Robbie played a few key safeties to get back at the table.
We must have missed some.
I'm sure we missed a few. Let's be honest. But that gives you a good idea of where we're at right now.
It's interesting, though, the unforced errors being so close, but the scoreline not being. It's the timing of the errors. Who makes the last error every rack the last one's the only one that really hurt.
I feel like unforced errors always balance out. So far, I haven't seen a match where it's been like 30 unforced errors for one guy and 0 for the other. Then you'd be playing freaking Johnny Archer, you know? Those are 700 level players.
I really needed a ball to drop there.
Yeah, dry break there for Justyn. First one. Smith. Thanks for the and Coach. Thanks for the subscription, Coach. It's a pretty strong name, huh? Coach. I mean, that could be Jeremy Jones for all we know. I have a feeling Joe Rogan has watched this. He just won't say anything in chat.
You just feel that, do you?
He almost mentioned us.
Almost.
He said Matchroom is doing a great job with a few other people doing some streaming on the side. So, can we be part of the few that he mentioned? I feel Joe Rogan, he's like in the know for pool. I don't know how.
You probably believe in astrology, don't you?
It's possible that he's come across our stream at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know?
He almost mentioned us. I love that. That's
yeah. It was pretty darn close. I'm telling you, the podcast was great. It was a little slow at times, but they did some great stories. the history of Efren Reyes and a few other things. I learned a lot.
Starts his run there with a combination on the 5 ball.
It's kind of nice that the 5 went.
That they both went.
Yeah.
Right. That the stripe went afterwards.
Another great shot.
Clearing the pocket for the 6. Of course, he could shoot the 6 now on the side, but. It's got a nice little layout here.
So Coach says Joe Rogan basically called you out. And he also says Joe also walks counterclockwise around the table, and he is also right-handed.
Has Joe said that?
No, Coach said that. Coach must know Joe. Yeah, it's possible.
Watched him.
It's possible Coach knows Joe personally. All right. Coach, who are you? Are you local? Let us know where you guys are from. And we're in Appleton, Wisconsin at the Mad Apple Burger and Billiard Company, College Avenue, right off Highway 41. Biggest growing city in Wisconsin, other than Eau Claire. Appleton.
Is it?
Yeah, we were ranked top 5 safest cities in the United States.
Wow.
20 years ago. I'm kidding. It's still up there.
He's picked these off nicely, Robbie, and he's given himself a chance to get on the hill. This is the slow roll, or does he go all the way to the bottom rail? Given the choice, he does like to go further, doesn't he?
I mean, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
Hit that perfect. Coach says he's from St. Louis, Missouri. Mad Matt's from Reedsburg, Wisconsin.
He's got a little bit of an angle the wrong way on this 3 ball.
Is this where he goes for the gusto, Pete? We'll find out.
He is. He's digging down. This is a draw shot. 8 ball in the same pocket.
Does he get a roll?
Is he behind the 9? No. I think he's okay. It's a tough shot, though.
So he got a little funky on the 8. Got to thank Sydney, Australia for hooking us up with a few quenching drinks. Oh no, but
he's giving Justyn a challenge here. Now with ball in hand, you have to solve this problem with the 10 ball. Or what is that ball? The 12 ball.
Is he going to let it go all the way and hit it in? That would have been funny.
Now, what would happen there? Because he could just not touch it and blame Robbie. Can he? If Robbie throws the ball on the table and it's headed towards the 8?
You'd put the 8 back, and Justyn would get ball in hand. I know.
If you're moving the cue ball yourself with ball in hand, if you touch it, if the cue ball touches anything, it's a foul.
Correct.
But what are you going to do? You've got to solve the 10 ball with this first shot. 12 ball, sorry. 12
now,
ball.
This brings up another interesting idea. Do you allow him to kick at it again?
Oh, my God, no.
I know.
I think he's got to... there's possibly a shot on the 13.
What if you tie it up behind the 12 or something?
What he's doing here, it's not completely natural because the stunt, he's got to draw this. But he wants to go off one rail into the 12. It's a shot that would have to be judged really well. It's not a stun line.
Yeah, I don't suggest a safety here. Let me be clear. Rhino. Mishikot.
All right, okay. The problem with the safety is even if he misses the 8, you still have the same shot.
But the 13 does block the easy kick if he just leaves it behind the 12.
The 10 ball that's all the way down table, you could sneak in right behind that, but it doesn't really help solve your problem. So he's going to...
Oh, no.
Hit it good. The little sort of double kiss there.
I feel the angle was too sharp for that with ball in hand.
He got really close to really bumping
really
it out
close.
there. A little unlucky that it sort of double kissed.
So now you got to shoot a bank or get behind it after the 10.
Yeah, if you shoot the 10 ball, that 12 ball can go into the same pocket. So really, you just got to clear the pocket, get the 10 ball out of there, and use the 9 ball to get on the 12. It's actually not that bad.
Cheers, MH. Happy holidays.
Up yours.
I feel like you just insulted me.
I'm
going to replay that so I can watch it when I get home.
We will never know.
We will. I'm going to put it in slow
No, that's
motion.
what we say. Instead of cheers. So he's got more angle than he likes on this 9 ball. I don't really like this position nearly as much as I did one shot ago. He can possibly play a super, super soft stun shot.
Well, what if you just
Over
slow roll the
distance.
9 in? Is the cue ball going to line up perfectly for the 12?
Might. Or do you make the 8?
Yeah, that's the question.
Only Justyn can tell you. He's going to, it might be, yeah. I mean, roll it in. I don't know.
Curtis from Kakana, Rude Dog from Oshkosh.
He's got so much angle on this 9 ball, though, doesn't he?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Now, if it hit that a little bit straighter, the 9 ball, because obviously he overcut that, truthfully, he's probably going to end up in a very, very similar spot. It's like when you're playing half ball cuts. It doesn't. That's very predictable where the cue ball goes. It's not very angle specific.
Right. The tangent line doesn't help you without a stun.
With a rolling.
Right.
That rolling shot when it's a half ball shot, the cue ball doesn't vary much, even if you vary hitting that ball slightly thicker or slightly thinner. So even if it made that, it'd have probably still made the 8.
They do have a bunch of locals. I mean, honestly, between Justyn and Robbie, they have a lot of fans, a lot of friends in the area. They play leagues. I know Robbie plays in a ton of leagues between here and Green Bay, Oshkosh and Green Bay, I should say.
So now, after the disappointment of this last rack, how's Justyn feeling? He's now got another wide open table. It's no pop gimme. You've still got to think your way through it. Do you still have the mind for it? Are you still going to really try and win this rack? Give it what it takes. It takes a lot of bottle. He's got nothing to lose here. And he's on the stream, and he loves to play pool, so why not make a good attempt at winning this rack?
Thank you, Riley. Keeping our stats up to date.
And the challenge here, of course, is look at the 9 and the 3. And that's why he's chosen solids. He's got a kiss shot. He can, if that 9-3 is combination is set good, he's got to glance off the 2 ball or the 6 actually. The 6 looks better, doesn't it?
It does. But let's see if based on where he's at right now,
But he's not. Is he just shooting the 2 ball? Oh yeah, he played the
tried to cheat the pocket.
He did play the kiss combination. Played it a lot harder than you might think. In hindsight, it seemed that playing the kiss off the 6 might have been. It looked to me like an easier shot.
A better option there, yeah.
But it depends exactly how that 3-9 was set and whether it needed to be thrown one way or the other. So.
Well, this could be it. Robbie's on the hill.
Yeah, these balls are open now.
Mike B, quite a few from New York watch these matches, but not live. They watch later throughout the week and can't chat. Yeah. I mean, we try to keep the live chat up, but I believe since the videos are so long, YouTube just kind of turns them off.
Got to find a pocket for the 13.
I mean, I'm not afraid of shooting that in the side.
Which side?
The right side. Like right now. No, not quite. He's looking at it, though.
And when you shoot that in the side, you want to be able to play it really soft, and
Right.
it doesn't really get you position if the 10 ball's gone. So you shoot this now, and
He's going to have to hit it a little harder so he comes off the rail back for the 10.
There you go. Nice shot.
Thank you. I feel like I shot that shot.
We're going to see another good draw shot, and Robbie loves his draw shots.
So next time you go to the UK, can I come with?
Ask me then.
They got an extra cot in the basement or anything for me?
Well, we were in Airbnbs. We were in 3 different places.
Oh, that's fun.
2 sisters and a dad, and they're all in different towns.
You use Airbnb for all of it, or
Uh,
there's like 3 or 4 different ones now. I don't know which one to use anymore.
Well, the first place was a bed and breakfast, and that was awesome because this wonderful lady cooked us this awesome breakfast
Oh, that sounds amazing.
3 days in a row.
That is the way to live. Well, this is the shot right here. Drills it.
Valiant effort from Justyn. I'm sure he wouldn't agree.
I
He would like to have this match back.
feel like he was just on the edge of keeping this match real close.
Robbie's playing strong. Once he gets going like a steamroller, it's tough to stop him.
Well, that will do it. Wow.
Yeah. Thank everybody out there for watching and staying with us on King of the Hill at Mad Apple. We've got a lot more pool coming up. We've got Sunday is our day for multiple matches. We've got the Queen's match. We've got the Jester's match. We've got the Knights match.
Right. So subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get a notification when we go live. It's free, right? And it's pool. Again, Friday is our main event. Hey, there's Wes, kind of floating there on the bottom.
We'll have another King's match. Same bat time, same bat channel to see if anybody can challenge Robbie.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to be up yet. Only Patrick knows, and he won't tell anyone until about Thursday. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us, and happy holidays, happy and safe holidays to everybody, and we'll see you Sunday. Thanks, MH, for helping me out.
Thanks a lot, Mr. G. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate it. Oh, that's Jimmy, by the way, not Wes. Sorry about that, Jimmy. They hang out together.
This is Mad Apple Xstream, live from the Mad Apple Burger and Billiard Company in Appleton, Wisconsin. Get ready for the extreme in pool entertainment. Welcome to the King of the Hill.
Oh, man. He hit that ball terrible.
Every ball is a rail.
If anybody's watching, just peep in here. Just say hi.